And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we have the ceasefire happening over in Iran, or however you pronounce it. Has it been violated? Will it last for the full 2 weeks it's supposed to last? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Eric Swalwell, what's going on with this guy? Hey, he could be the next governor of California, but he has a crazy past, a checkered past with Fang, Yum Yum, some campaign finance allegations, and a few more things. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. And speaking about California governors, Gavin Newsom's wife, I got to do a whole video on her because she, believe it or not, is worse than Gavin Newsom himself. Do you know that she deleted her sister when she was 7 years old by a quote-unquote accident? Sounds like a movie I've seen before, The Good Son, The Good Daughter. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, someone in government, a top FEMA official, says that they were teleported to a Waffle House. Says everyone when they were drunk at 4 a.m. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later, and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. There is quite a bit to discuss. We have the ceasefire. We have the California governor's race. We have the 2028 presidential race. We got a lot happening. And one thing I want to talk about was the hotel kerfuffle with LeBron James, because I want to talk about, before I get started with today's sermon, what I want to talk about is the United States. Some of our cities are better than others. I've been to quite a few places. I've been all over the United States. I've been to quite a few cities, big cities, small towns, sundown towns, you name it. I've been a little bit of everywhere. Driving, flying, you name it. Been there. Been to places where it's majority black, majority white, mixed, a lot of Asians, a lot of Hispanics, majority Hispanic. I've been all around. And one thing that I can say, and I think that we all can say, is that some places, some cities are better than others. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Have any of you ever said, you know where I want to go for vacation? I want to go to Memphis, Tennessee. Has that ever been on your radar for a vacation? Now, some of you guys might have gone to Graceland, but what are you doing aside from Graceland? And before I continue, shout out to the residents of Memphis. Shout out to the people who live there. This is not anything against you. Same thing with where I currently am recording from right now, Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is not a place people say that they want to go for vacation. Not normally. Maybe you're in the interstate. Maybe you're going 75 north to Gatlinburg, and you see a sign that says, visit Rock City. Visit, what else we got? Ruby Falls. You might see something like that and take a diversion downtown and go up the mountain. Maybe you might do something like that, but generally that's not a thing people look forward to doing. Unlike going to even in Los Angeles, I'm no California fan. I'm not a big fan of the left coast, but I'm not going to sit here and act like LA is on a tourist destination, because those beaches, stupendous, fantastic. Then you go up in the mountains. It's absolutely beautiful. Hitting the ski slopes, all that kind of stuff. People go there for that. Okay. Miami, Florida, you're basically in the Caribbean. It's beautiful. The beaches, the white sand, the luxury, all the accoutrements of a beautiful place like that, they got it. New York City, I am no fan of Zohran Mamdani. I am no fan of the biggest rats you ever seen in your life. The rats are so big, the rats are bullying the cats. The bodega cat stands no chance against these super-sized rodents that got up there. Yet and still, New York City is a tourist hot spot. People want to go there, okay? They're going to go to Madison Square Garden. They're going to go to Knicks games. They're going to do these things because it's right there. And they want to experience New York City. But no one ever says, you know what I want to do? I want to go to Memphis or Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Or how about Salt Lake City, Utah? And shout out to the residents of these places. I don't want to attack you guys. It's not about you guys. It's about that city being attractive to outsiders. Like y'all know, I'm born in Charleston, West Virginia. Do you want to go there? Do y'all want to go there for a vacation? But we love West Virginia. We absolutely love it. My family, all of us on both sides love West Virginia. We talk about that place every single day, all day. It's like part of our vocabulary, but y'all don't want to go there, and it's okay. It's not for everybody. Just like Salt Lake City, Utah, not for everybody. I'm not Mormon, okay? I'm not trying to drink soda pop all day long in a container that's that big, a super gigantic gulp, 128 ounces of soda. I don't want that. I'm not trying to be in my bed at 7 p.m. on a Friday night. Me personally, you know what I enjoy doing? When I travel, I want to go to a place where I'm able to walk. For example, if I go to Miami, I don't want to go to Doral, to the resort that Trump has. I don't want to go to any kind of resort where I'm kind of like locked in. They got a gate and I got to get a car to get out. No, I want to be able to catch an Uber straight to my hotel and then walk outside of my hotel and explore. That's why I always go to Brickell when I go to Miami. South Beach, all of that, all the beaches, West Palm, okay, that's cool. But let me go to Brickell because you got the mall right there. You got human beings, people moving around. You got more things to do rather than just saying, okay, I'm gonna just be in this room. I'm gonna just look at this wall. I don't want that. I want the full experience. And I think LeBron James was saying that when he was talking about Memphis not really being a great place to visit when you're trying to play basketball. But the people of Memphis, you guys are great. Like I said in my video, you had Tina Turner, Ike and Tina. Tina is from that area, not Memphis the city, but like right north of Memphis. And Ike from St. Louis, and then they became a popular thing. Elvis, of course, from Memphis. Graceland's right there. Then you got into the hip hop era, 666 Mafia, Lil Yo Gotti. You know, you got into that. It's a culture there. It's unique. The checking I see on TikTok. Shout out to y'all for that. But beyond that, do you want to go there? No, you don't want to go there. And it's just as simple as that. So we're going to get into the hotel they had in Memphis that caused the controversy. And I'm going to show you guys some of the way that these players live. Some of these hotels. Because I showed that hotel in Memphis. People were like, oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, for me, for you and I, it's not that bad for regular people. But if you are a multimillionaire, like a basketball player, even the last guy on the bench is making like $15 million a year. For a guy like that, he's going to spend bare minimum $500 a night for a nice hotel. Bare minimum. That's on the low end. But really, $1,000, $1,500, go to Miami and stay in some of them nice spots. $2,000 a night. But it's okay because they got the money. And you know what? If you're an NBA player and you're traveling to go play basketball, that's considered a work expense, right? That's tax write-off. Now, of course, it don't mean it's free, but I'm going to still reduce my tax liability by spending that money on a nice hotel. And plus, these guys have nice living environments at home. I don't live in a mansion. I don't live in a $20 million Los Angeles mansion like LeBron James does. I don't live in that. There's one player I'm going to show you. You're not going to even know his name. If you're not really a sports fan, you're not even going to know his name. This guy lives on an island. He has his own island. So, I mean, you're not going to go from having your own private island to living in the Best Western, even if just for a night. It just ain't really your thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, Akron, Ohio. But listen, LeBron said that he doesn't even like going home. He doesn't like going home. People got offended and wanted to say, oh, well, LeBron, you're from Akron, Ohio. Okay. Doesn't mean he wants to go there. I'm born in West Virginia and grew up in Virginia Beach. Do I live there now? No, I don't. People say, would you go back? Maybe I might go back, but it's not like I have to go back. I could go visit and that's fine. And I love being from those places, growing up in those places. I love that. But, you know, at a certain point, you got to be able to kind of like, what they say, a man cannot be a prophet in his hometown. Shout out to the Bible. Y'all know it. A man cannot be a prophet in his hometown. That's pretty much how I saw it. And that's pretty much a real thing. Okay, if LeBron just stayed in Akron, Ohio, would he be who he is right now today? No, he wouldn't. So that's that. But yeah, shout out to you guys if you're living in Memphis or a small town. Hey, enjoy your small town, enjoy your small city, but you got to just understand it for what it is. I come from a small place. I grew up in a small place, and I appreciate what that small place gave me as far as my values, my education, my street awareness, all of that. I appreciate it for that. But when you want to advance and do more things, you got to be able to move around at a certain point. In 2026, we have modern technology. We're living in the age of planes, trains, automobiles. You're able to travel very easily. So why not? Look at look at the DNA of Black Americans, especially. I got the whole world in my DNA. So we've always traveled. We've always gone from place to place, point A to point B. We've always done that. So why stop right now? Why stop right now? An island. That's right, Hunter, man. This guy, an NBA player, you probably won't even know his name. He's not like a super big marquee guy, has his own island. These guys make so much money. It's crazy. Into the like $100 million range they make. So yeah, now that might be a bad expenditure, buying a private island or even leasing one. I'm not sure how he was able to acquire that. It might not be the best expenditure, but he's able to do it because of how much money he makes. If that's you, you don't want to stay in the Best Western. But if you're a regular guy like me, it's no problem to stay in a Holiday Inn Express. It's okay. I'm not a cajillionaire. But you know what? If one day I became a cajillionaire, if I won a lottery for $1.8 billion, I wouldn't tell a soul, but there would be signs. You're going to see ABL in a new spot every night, the new background. Hey, where is that at? Don't worry about it. You know, hey, don't worry about it. That says Ritz-Carlton. Are you in New York, ABL? Are you in Chicago? That room costs $2,000 a night. I'm not going to tell anyone, but there will be signs for sure. Is he a bench player? I think he is a bench player. The guy that has the island. You'll see in a minute. You most certainly see in a minute. I will get to it. But speaking about bench players, Gavin Newsom's wife. Now, this lady is something else. I'm kind of scared of this lady, for real. I'm thinking, lizard person. I don't know what's going on with this lady. I'm a little scared. I'm scared to say anything because I don't want her to pop up in my dreams and do something like Freddy Krueger and do something to me. I don't want that going on. Listen, there's a fact about her that you guys might not know. When she was 7 years old, she accidentally killed her sister. It was like a golf cart accident, something like that. I mean, this lady's kind of scary. She's scary. The things she says, the things that she has done, her manner, her behavior is downright scary. So this is not someone that I would want to be the first lady of the United States. And she say the term lady, that's outdated. I'm no lady. Oh, is that right? Then what are you? Do you guys not call yourselves lady in the reptilian world, Miss Gavin Newsom? I don't know. But what she say? First partner? Oh, okay. You don't want to use human terminology? Anyway, tinfoil hat is applied right now. But we got a lot more from her. I hope to hear more from her because that's going to really damage their campaign. If her speaking helps his campaign, then I fear for the future of this nation. Like, what are we really doing? What's really going on? If you could say some of the crazy things she says, like We can't have boys become right wing. She said that. Oh, we can't have boys become right wing. Let me ask you guys a question. What would this country look like if all the men were leftists? I mean, how would anything get built? You may have some guys that are leftists that can build things, that can do things, but it's not very many. What would this country look like if they were all leftists, if they were all LGBT? The LGBT, and not all of them, but some of the LGBT think that they are superior people and that everyone should be like them. But they don't understand a lot of things that are done in this world are done without them, are done without them being present at all. How are you going to build anything? Never have I ever seen an all LGBTQ LMNP X, Y, and Z construction crew. And until we could get androids to do everything, you still got to have human beings with their hands going out there and doing things. So yeah, I don't really foresee that happening in the future. Athletics, any kind of construction, any kind of building, anything like that, the LGBTQ LMNP are not going to be able to do it. Okay, that's just not really a thing. But they say everybody should be like them. Also, if everyone was LGBT, where are we going to get human beings from? How are we going to procreate? How are we going to have, how about the women? What happens to them? If the men are all LGBTQ LMNOP, then what of the women? How are we going to get new human beings? And what of the women with no men? What happens with them? Are we going to get the big bull daggers, like the lady that got deleted in Minnesota? Is that what we're going to get? And you know what? This is why the LGBTQ LMNOP and Minnesota especially fight for the Somalis to come over here, because they need them to keep the economy going, because the LGBT don't produce human beings. They're limited in their scope of what they can do. So they bring in the Somalis to shore it up. And really all the Somalis do is just scam and bring that money back into the economy. Ask a Somali anywhere in the world, even Somalia, hey, do you want to work? Oh, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't. So what are we here for? To buttress society for some people like the LGBTQ element of P, X, Y, and Z. It is what it is. Okay. Yeah, it just ain't going to be. Hold on. I'm reading some of the comments. You guys are funny. You guys are hilarious. But yeah, shout out to Gavin Newsom and the wife who I'm afraid of, to be totally honest with you. And Eric Swalwell, oh my goodness. Eric Swalwell, bro. You got some problems, man. And, you know, I did the video about Eric Swalwell and the harassment allegations. And I read some of the comments. People were saying, well, look, you know, I'm tired of the women just making these allegations. Anybody can say anything. No. Let's not do that. Let's not sit here and say that anyone can say anything when it comes to the allegations from women against an Eric Swalwell, because it was Eric Swalwell himself who said that we should believe all women. And if you got 3 or 4 women who don't know each other all saying the same thing about you, then it must be true. Where there's smoke, there must be fire. That's what he said in 2018 on camera, mic'd up on television. So now, 2026, does that argument still apply, Mr. Swalwell? Does it apply? If it applies, then you most certainly must fit under the argument, because you got over a dozen coming against you. And of course he's married. All these guys be married. Marriage means nothing to these people. And it means nothing to a lot of people, really. High divorce rate. Don't nobody care about marriage. Okay, just like Christy Noem's husband pretending to be Britney Spears and Dolly Parton and whatnot in his spare time on OnlyFans. You know, and you know what? Here's something about OnlyFans that a guy like James Fishback and the 16-year-old boys that he wants to appeal to, what he doesn't understand is that OnlyFans is a thing that caters to married men. I think I read, and shout out to CGA, Coach Greg Adams, who said it. I think the stat was 80% of OnlyFans subscribers, meaning the guys who pay these girls, are married men. And if you guys don't know what OnlyFans is an adult website where you're able to, quote unquote, interact with people who do adult things. To make it be a little bit more plain, it's primarily women. There are some men on there who are creators, but it's primarily young women who attract married men, and these married men can interact with the woman if they pay. Now, when I say interact, I kind of mean that loosely because a lot of times it'd be a guy like Andrew Tate talking at you. It won't be the women themselves. You paying the girl to text you. Meanwhile, it's Andrew Tate. Oh, I got Bugatti. It's him texting you, and you don't even know it. But he'll text you in the way that you think is from her, in her language. But anyway, my point is that this is a thing that's mostly for married guys to interact with because they can't get it from their wife, or they want to cheat on their wife, or whatever the case may be. They want to do that without getting divorced. That's what's happening right now. So Kristi Noem's husband, he was doing that. Verified. You got some of the girls. They look crazy too. The lips. Hey, y'all got to stop this lip augmentation. Your lips look like sausage links stacked vertical. Okay. It looks crazy. It looks ridiculous. Okay. If you don't have full natural lips, it's okay. God didn't make you that way for a reason. Just whatever you got, enhance that naturally. Go to the gym. Don't be a bit back. Just do that. If your lips are non-existent, it's okay. When you try to make pretend lips, you look ridiculous. But anyway, some guys like it, like Kristi Noem's husband. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Gavin Newsom, I don't know what he got going on. But Kristi Noem's husband, he has an issue. And Eric Swalwell has an issue. Married, of course, with children. Taking money from the campaign finance, spending it on yourself. And what'd be really crazy is this. If Eric Swalwell took campaign finance money to pay these interns and employees that he was inappropriate with some hush money, all for the hush to be broken, that'd be hilarious. But we'll see. We shall see. I don't think he will get locked up for that. I think it would just be a thing where people got to just look at it and see if they're okay with it. Do you think it's okay for your governor to behave that way? If so, then you vote for him. If no, among other reasons, you're not going to vote for him. Shout out to Chad Bianco out there in California. Hope he become the governor. It's going to be a long shot because it's California. Like I said before, they had a recall with Gavin, and Gavin beat the recall. So I don't really see a Republican becoming governor, even if the pickings are as slim as they are on the Democratic side. They rather would just go ahead and pick Eric Swalwell, who is a known creep and a liar and a thief, over a good guy like Chad Bianco. But it is what it is. But did you guys, okay, I'm asking y'all this question about a teleportation story. So I did the video about the FEMA official who said he got teleported to a Waffle House. Do y'all think that has any kind of validity to it? Do you think that it's possible for somebody to just be in their car driving? Okay, you on 75 North, chilling, playing your music, whatever you got going on. Achy, don't tear my heart, my achy. All of a sudden, you go into a wormhole, and rather than it being out there by Albany, Georgia, you've been warped to Rome, Georgia, at a Waffle House. Do you guys think that's possible? Let me know. Let me know. I want to hear it. What's going on? I think that anything's possible, but I'm not quite sure I believe that story. But it's possible. I've seen some things and some stuff in my day, so I don't know. I think if they do UFO disclosure or UAP disclosure, they got to disclose all of that. I want to know where, okay, if they do disclosure, give me the entire rundown about Area 51, Bermuda Triangle, Atlantis, everything. What's the truth behind global warming? Is it really a man-made thing, or just a regular, the Great Flood? How did that happen? The Mayan calendar? Give me everything. Don't just say, oh, we got a flying saucer. That ain't going to be enough. I need the whole shebang. But what do y'all think? Okay, Star Trek, you think Star Trek was real? Hey, maybe so. Maybe so. You saw me at Kroger. You saw my twin at Kroger. I've not been to a Kroger in a while. I wish I was at a Kroger. That's one of my favorite stores. You ain't seen me there, but you saw my twin. I got a lot of them floating around. Hey, every 2 to 3 times I go out, somebody says that they know me from somewhere, they recognize me, but I'm not who they thought that I was. Y'all might come up to me, I think as a fan, wanting to say hello, take a picture, but they'd be like, Daryl? I'm not Daryl. John? I'm not John. I got that face that is familiar to a lot of people. All right, but shout out to you guys. Bro Story says we need to visit his Waffle House and ask questions. Well, somebody did do that, apparently, and what they got back was that what they got back was we didn't see him. Don't say. That's what they got. We didn't see him. So we'll see. We shall see. I got a lot of twins, Jennifer. I got quite a few twins. Okay. Any tall black guy, tall dark-skinned black guy, and depending upon how I groom myself or style myself, that'll be who I look like. Y'all, some of y'all say Raj from What's Happening. If you like an older person, you say Raj from What's Happening. I've gotten everything. Yeah, tall, dark-skinned black guy. I look like everybody. Okay, it's like if I was a tall white guy. Okay, I look like Deadpool, Wolverine, all the comic book characters I would look like if I was a tall white guy. Same thing being a tall black guy. I look like everybody that is in that same realm of appearance. And with the beard and stuff like that, that's like a whole nother layer. Samuel L. Jackson. And by the way, if you think I look like Samuel L. Jackson, you're blocked automatically. You're blocked because I rebuke that. I do. But I've gotten that quite a bit. Okay. There's quite a bit I want to discuss. But before I go any further, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And shout out to the sponsors, you guys being the very first sponsor. But also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser and tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and you'll be able to find articles for each long-form video that I produce. And in each article, you'll be able to find sources from the left, from the right, and the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my SNML address, my UPS box, so of course my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagrams. And shout out to you guys on the Instagram Live from last night. I appreciate y'all for that. You'll be able to see the Instagram Live from last night on Friday night, 8 p.m. on the YouTubes. If you want to catch it live, Instagram every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But on the contact page, you find my Facebook, the Instagrams, the Twitter, never going to call it X, my TikToks, all that will be right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're speaking to me on the interwebs or not, you're probably not, unless you emailed me first and I responded back. And my email, again, on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. It is contact@anthonyblogan.com. And I do read your emails, even if I don't respond. So I appreciate all the tips, all the support, all the everything. Thank you guys for that. To the haters, it's okay. Shout out to the haters. I got haters been hating for years and years and years. Hopefully the long-term haters, the multi-year haters, hopefully they got their mind right at a certain point, okay? If you were a beginner hater 5 years ago, I hope 5 years of consistent hating has been informative in some kind of way. Hopefully you're not a mouth breather no more. If you came to me hating and drooling out of your mouth, hopefully you're not drooling no more. But anyway, if you are not getting emails from that email, it's not me. You're being scammed by somebody over in India, Ukraine, Lagos, Nigeria. They're going to sound like this, and they're going to take all your money. Don't let it happen to you. Don't be a fool in this world today, because I don't have the capacity to render your revenue back into your pockets. I don't have the strength to do that for you. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, a light topic right quick before we get into the Iran stuff and the heavy stuff, the hotel kerfuffle. Now, if you guys don't know, there goes LeBron James. And I'm going to just say this to make you real mad. LeBron is the best basketball player ever. I said it. I did. Get mad. It's okay. 41 years old, playing at a high level. Anyway, LeBron said that there's two cities he hates going to play basketball. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Memphis, Tennessee. If you live there, if you're from there, if you love that place, shout out to you. This is nothing against you, nothing against your city. It's just not a desirable place for a tourist to visit. It's just not. When you go to Memphis, what are we doing? We're going to the Bass Pro Shop. And by the way, hold on. That Bass Pro Shop, matter of fact, hold on, I'll come back here. That Bass Pro Shop, what happened with that? It was supposed to be a big entertainment complex. The pyramid they got in Memphis, it was supposed to be a big entertainment complex, and all the lofty expectations did not happen. So for a while, it was an abandoned building, a big abandoned pyramid in Memphis, until Bass Pro Shops purchased it and made it into like a novelty store. That's the only reason why it exists right now today as anything else other than an abandoned building. So if not for Bass Pro Shops saving an abandoned building, then what did Memphis have? Graceland, the Grizzlies. That's it. It's not really a tourist destination. If you live there and enjoy it, shout out to you. But if I'm coming from somewhere else, why would I go there? Anyway, LeBron said the hotel and just the amenities that Memphis has does not measure up to other cities. So this guy right here, G-Fed Go Crazy, on the Twitters and the Instagrams, he went to the hotel to see it for himself. So he's going to kind of tour it. Now, what we're going to see right now is another another basketball player, former NBA player, Gilbert Arenas, reviewing the hotel from his NBA perspective, from a guy who's been traveling, been in different hotels and whatnot. So I'm going to show some of this, and we're going to get into the heavy stuff.
I did get upgraded for no extra charge. Upgrading a room is something a good hotel would do, in my opinion, but keep in mind, this is probably not the room that you're going to get for the price that I paid. And here we are. I have not even seen my bed yet. That is a good sign. Honestly, this is pretty freaking cool. So we got basically a living room right here. Cool. Over to the other side, we got a pretty standard king-size hotel room all in one. There is also floor-to-ceiling windows around this entire thing. And if we roll one of these back, you're not getting a better view of the forum than that.
So the hotel is right across from the arena. So that's not necessarily ideal for the NBA players. But anyway, keep on going.
I'm actually realizing this is switch controlled. Let's lift this bad boy up.
Okay. Now that we see what's going on, Gil. Is that a bad hotel for NBA player standpoints?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Don't tell me that a hotel that is above your pay grade and you say, oh, this is good. Now, how about this? You go to the hotels we go to, then you go back there. All right, how about this? Let's go spend a night in Chicago and we at the Peninsula Hotel. Then let's go on to LA and go to either the Beverly Hills Wilshire or the Waldorf. Yeah. The Four Seasons. And then after you do that, let's go to the Satai Hotel in Miami or the Fontainebleau, right? And then after you do that, because most likely you're going to try to get a regular room. First of all, the rooms is going to be too expensive. You ain't going to get no upgrade, right? So you pay the regular price and then remember where LeBron's going to be. Penthouse only, right? Penthouse. I was penthouse guy. Team penthouse, not me, my own money. Penthouse everywhere, right? And I'm pretty sure that one don't have a penthouse. The one you was in don't have a penthouse. So that means the room you was in, his ass got to be in that room. Hey, huh?
They got an outhouse.
Yeah. So
basically, look, the hotel that you just saw is not up to NBA standards. Let me show you. This is going to be the St. Regis in Chicago. Okay, Chicago, and you can already see how different it is. This is a St. Regis in Chicago.
And we have a beautiful tub here looking into the room, and there's a beautiful live plant, and that's an actual little orchid. That is gorgeous. A lot of the little plants they put in bathrooms these days are very cheap, or they don't do it at all, but that is stunning. Love looking at the room. It's literally like a work of art in there.
Look at the floors. The floors alone. I mean, you're not going to find that in the hotel for $200, which is what we just saw in Memphis. There's nothing like this in Memphis. That's the point. This, you could tell right here, just from the bathroom alone, the level.
The design is just gorgeous. And right over here, we actually have a button. I can press this, and this shade is actually going to lower. So that way you can have privacy in the bathroom if you need to, but I'm going to go ahead and put that up for the sake of the video. But really nice tub. They have a little loaf pad there. I wish that they also had bath salts. I feel like that's very important, or a bath bomb with the bathtub. So that is definitely missing. Now we have the nice sink here. There's only one sink. All right, we just have one single sink. Usually in really luxury properties like these, even in the standard rooms, there's a lot of times two sinks. So there's only one here. So if you're with your family, it might take a little while to get ready in the morning. We had one room in the closet, and then we have one here. This is a brand new property, and they do have the brand standard robes, which is the Frette robes. And they also did have in the closet the slippers, also the same brand, which they're supposed to, the Frette robes. I mean the Frette slippers here. So very soft, I approve. They're super plush, just absolutely amazing. And these ones are also nice too because they're closed-toed, and look at how soft and comfortable that is. So
it's levels to this, and that is a man, is one of the LGBT, of course. And then let's look at the shower right quick.
Ceiling, as you can see.
Oh, they got the closed-in bathroom with the transparent, the semi-translucent door. Yeah,
literally stopped it right here
with the wall-mounted toilet, and then the shower right there.
And there's none on this wall, but it's still very premium that we do have it at least up to here. So, and it's its own private space.
Very tall ceilings. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like what we saw in Memphis is nothing compared to where the NBA players actually stay every night. Now I'm gonna show you another one. This is going to be an NBA player, Reggie Bullock. Do you know who that is? Don't worry about it. He has a private island. A private island.
Welcome. This is Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock.
And I think that we're in the jet car for a minute.
So you can kind of see what's going on. You got a private island. You got fruit trees, all kind of stuff. This is just different. So you don't want to go from a private island to the hotel in Memphis. You see? Are we on the same page? So yeah, that's the levels you're talking about. Okay, that's what we're talking about right there. So anybody else kind of upset at what LeBron said, don't be upset. Okay, I wanted to show that just for a little bit of clarification. Now we're going to move forward. I'm not sure if you guys saw the Artemis 2. Shout out to them. Now, speaking about paranormal things, UFOs, UAPs, do you guys think that the Artemis 2 is actually flying in space right now? And they did the actual moon buzz by? Do you guys believe that? Because when I put up some of these videos, I'm getting mixed responses. People are laughing. That's not real. It's the firmament. The earth is flat. Do you guys believe that the moon mission, the buzz by, is actually going on right now? Now, this is going to be Victor Glover. Victor Glover is a pilot. You can see him right here on the left. A stud of a guy. This guy has a crazy resume. Crazy resume. He was a Navy pilot, a fighter pilot, all over the world. He's lived. He was in Japan for a while. Like, this guy is a real deal. And he gave an impromptu Easter speech right before Easter Sunday, or right on Easter Sunday, from the Artemis 2 mission.
I'm glad you brought that up, though. I think these observances are important. And as we are so far from Earth and looking back at, the beauty of creation, I think for me, one of the really important personal perspectives that I have up here is I can really see Earth as one thing. And, when I read the Bible and I look at all of the amazing things that were done for us who were created, it's, you have this amazing place, this spaceship. You guys are talking to us because we're in a spaceship really far from Earth, but you're on a spaceship called Earth that was created to give us a place to live in the universe, in the cosmos. I think maybe the distance we are from you makes you think what we're doing is special, but we're the same distance from you. And I'm trying to tell you, just trust me, you are special. In all of this emptiness, this is a whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe. You have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist together. I think as we go into Easter Sunday, thinking about, all the cultures all around the world, whether you celebrate it or not, whether you believe in God or not, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together.
Well, for someone who didn't have anything prepared, that was really quite extraordinary.
There we go. So again, that was Victor Glover, the pilot aboard the Artemis 2, pilot, astronaut, Navy pilot. Crazy resume. Like, that guy, you may see him try to become president one day, be part of the administration one day, but I think he's a liberal guy politically. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's him. So that's a great Easter speech, impromptu, off the cuff. And again, hopefully you guys enjoyed your Easter on Sunday. Now, let's get to the whole Iran situation. We got a ceasefire. The ceasefire is going to be a little bit tricky because it's hard to go from we're going to kill your whole nation, we're going to destroy your whole nation, to, okay, let's talk peace now. So some are rooting for the ceasefire to fail, which is weird to me. Why would you root for the ceasefire to fail? Everyone should want the ceasefire to work. It doesn't matter if you like Trump or not. People got TDS so badly that they root against their own country just to stick it to Donald Trump. If Trump says, okay, we're going to save the planet, everybody's going to be free, it's going to be a beautiful day, you have a better life, some would root against that because it's Trump saying it, which is crazy. But anyway, here is a little bit about what's happening from today. Okay, and let's check it out.
As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it.
All right, there we go. So that's what's happening. So far, good update on what's going on. But we got quite a bit more. We have quite a bit more here. Okay, here's from CBS News about the U.S.-Iran ceasefire and how Pakistan was involved, because there's quite a few nations who have interest in this. Really, the whole world has interest in this conflict. Everyone, because of the energy situation, clearly. People that are bordering, Pakistan is bordering Iran, bordering nations, the energy, cost of things. It's just the whole world is affected by this, and the whole world has a stake in how this whole thing plays out. Okay, so let's watch here. A little bit about the ceasefire.
What do you make of this ceasefire deal between President Trump and the leadership in Tehran?
Both sides can claim victory. Both sides, in fact, Iran and the United States, were looking for an off-ramp. And it appears that this ceasefire agreement temporarily gives them that off-ramp. Tehran is claiming victory by having simply stood up to the United States and to Israel, two nuclear powers. And the United States can now say that we threatened them and they backed out.
When you look at the US 15-point plan compared to the Iranian 10-point plan, it does look like these are their most maximalist positions. But you think there is common ground here?
There is. For example, in the 15-point plan, the president had said the United States could lift sanctions on Iran. That's one of the primary demands of the Iranians. These are two powers that need each other, but over the course of the last 4 decades, 5 decades in fact, there's been a lot of animosity between them. And this could very well be an opportunity for a president who's famously transactional and for an Islamic Republic that is desperately in need of global engagement.
Pakistan played a role as mediator between Tehran and Washington. How important was Pakistan in us getting to this point?
Extremely important, because the traditional mediators, namely Oman and Qatar, had either been attacked by Iran or had been somehow party to the conflict. So Pakistan was perfectly positioned to play the role of a mediator.
Many of the pressing problems facing Iran have only gotten that much worse.
Before he continues, I saw a comment talking about, I wonder what Russia thinks. Yeah, Russia and China are super quiet, aren't they? Very, very quiet. But I think they're going to be supporting their ally, Iran, because of the energy needs. They're going to do that. Even if they do it quietly, they're going to do it.
If this ceasefire holds and leads to some sort of durable agreement, how does the current Iranian leadership emerge from this?
No doubt stronger. It could strengthen the hands of Mojtaba Khamenei, who we know very little about, but who is rumored to be extremely conservative. And so moving forward, we don't really know what politics we will see in Iran. But at least in the short run, we're very likely to see greater social freedoms and less restrictions.
All right, there we go. So that's what's happening over there. Pakistan being the mediator, trying to get this ceasefire to stick. Now, I'm going to turn this volume down a little bit here. When Trump first announced, hey, you know what? If you guys don't open the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to just annihilate you. It's going to be the end of your civilization. We're going to target the power plants and all of that. Iranian state media directed their people to go form human chains at the power plants to discourage U.S. from bombing them. Literally. Check it out. Yeah, so a human chain, like literally like human shields. Is that what we're doing? How very Islamic. How unsurprising. How unsurprising. Now, some may say that worked. I'm not quite sure. I think what works is being able to communicate, being able to talk. And plus, we didn't already hit so many of their everything. We're not trying to obliterate them, but hey, we got to get this conflict over with. Got to get it over with. Okay, now, here is more about that pilot rescue. Because remember, he had the F-15 that was shot down over Iran, and then they had to go get the pilot. They used a very high-tech piece of equipment, very high-tech. It was, first of all, he had a beacon that might be like kind of like the size of a cell phone, but it was not a cell phone. And he had the beacon, which activated to give them a general area of what he was, of where he was. But they have a device, I forget what it was called, something about a murmur. They were able to identify his individual specific heartbeat rhythm from a very wide area. It was like finding a needle in a haystack. But they were able to zero in on that by his heartbeat rhythm, which is crazy. It's like trying to find someone's fingerprint from 1,000 miles away type stuff. Anyway, let's listen to this. Some sound might help. Let's start from the top.
New information tonight on that successful mission.
And RIP to the headphone users.
New information tonight on that successful mission to rescue an American aviator injured and alone some 200 miles inside Iran. CBS News has learned his first call from safety in Kuwait was to his wife and children back home. Senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata now has more on what made that call possible. Charlie, good evening.
Tony, good evening. We learned it was 50 long, harrowing hours from the time the crew ejected until both crew members were rescued from deep inside hostile territory and under fire. President Trump described it as the largest and most complex search and rescue operation ever mounted.
In the United States military, we leave no American behind. We don't do it.
The first phase was risky enough, having identified the location of the pilot of the two-seater fighter jet. 21 planes were scrambled, including an A-10 Warthog, along with attack helicopters. They came under heavy fire, wounding the helicopter rescue crew, but the Warthog suffered critical damage, according to Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane.
This pilot continued to fight, continued the mission, and then upon exit flew his aircraft into another country and determined that the airplane was not landable. The pilot then made the decision to eject over friendly territory and was quickly and safely recovered and is doing fine.
In the race to rescue the weapons systems officer, call sign Dude 44 Bravo, the U.S. military surged more than 150 combat aircraft. Some split up as decoys to throw the Iranians off track.
We were bringing them all over, and a lot of it was subterfuge. We wanted to have them think he was in a different location.
Wounded and bleeding profusely, he evaded Iranian troops and climbed a mountain to send an emergency signal.
So he climbed like, I think, what was that, 7,000 foot? Now, I don't know if he climbed that far. I think the peak might have been that high above sea level, like 7,000 foot above sea level, but I'm not quite sure how far or how high he climbed, but he did climb very high to get up in the mountain crevice where he was hiding until he was able to be found by the U.S. troops.
In the dead of night, hundreds of special operations forces flew in to rescue him, landing in a field and putting together small helicopters in less than 10 minutes. But the C-130s they used were too heavy to fly out, so they called in lighter aircraft to safely bring everyone home. General Kane also paid credit to the crew of the F-15 itself.
Their grit and warfighting tenacity is a direct result of the absolute trust they have in our rescue forces.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe said the agency used top secret technology to find the second airman, which he described as hunting for a grain of sand in the middle of a desert. And Tony, everyone injured in that second airman rescue are doing fine.
That's good news. Charlie D'Agata putting it all together.
All right, there we go. So again, shout out to the airman. The airman was injured pretty badly, but the airman will be okay. The pilot will be okay. And we spent quite a bit of money doing that. We had to destroy those search and rescue planes because they got stuck in the sand. Had a little makeshift airway, landed right there, but trying to get them back started to get them out of the sand, it just wasn't working. So they had to abandon them. And so the Iranians couldn't get it, blew them up, and it kept on going. So we did that, but it's okay because we got our guy back. We did. Now, speaking about the Iranians, Big Marco, no little Marco, is busy deporting a lot of these people who should not be here, including some of the children of the former Iranian leadership. And it's weird because they say America is the devil, the belly of the beast, yet you send your kids here. Make that make sense. Anyway, let's watch.
So as Iranians face brutal repression at home, top regime elites are enjoying lives of luxury right here in the U.S. And the Trump administration is now cracking down. Our White House correspondent Aisha Hasni is reporting live on that out of Washington for us. Hello, Aisha.
Hey, Sandra, you know, it's outrageous. You've got women in Iran who get lashed, beaten, thrown acid in their faces, even killed for showing their hair. And then you've got relatives of Iran's power players here in the U.S. acting like the Kardashians. Yesterday, we told you about the niece and great-niece of slain General Qasem Soleimani flaunting their lavish life here on U.S. soil. Their visas are now getting revoked. Now we're learning about other relatives of other top Iranian leaders teaching American students here in our homeland. The New York Post reports that Isa Hashemi, Isa as in Jesus, the Arabic for Jesus, is the son of Iranian insider Masumeh Ebtekar, and he's living in LA, allegedly teaching there. His mom, known as Screaming Mary, was a spokeswoman for the U.S. Embassy hostage crisis. We all remember that. Fox has reached out twice to him, but got no response, despite Isa's name still being on the website for the Chicago school. It's where he teaches. Meanwhile, Leila Khatami, the daughter of a former Iranian president, is a professor at Union College. And another Iranian leader's daughter was an assistant professor at Emory until that school terminated her. Katie Miller says that the president and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, are now looking to revoke visas for 3,000 to 4,000 Iranian elites in the U.S.
So as Iranian.
Now, somebody's going to say, oh, that's like the Japanese internment camps. No. See, look, my thing is this. We're talking about people who really shouldn't be here because there is an element of, how can I say, like a soft invasion. Okay, if you have the regime, we got rid of the regime over there in Iran, but their people are still here, then that's like we didn't really do the job. We're not trying to injure them, but you got to get back up out of here. You got to get up out of here. And you should want to leave because their parents, their family would say that America's the devil, it's the belly of the beast, it's Babylon. Okay, then why are you here? Why are you here? And you riddle me that. That's my question. You could live well over in Iran or somewhere else. Go to Saudi Arabia, or you can't do that. UAE, or you can't do that. Anyway, whatever. Now,
do you still?
Let's talk a little bit more about those who were at the power plants, holding hands and all of that good stuff. A human shield. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Do you still speak to people in Iran now? How's life like there now? I was speaking to a journalist that was there a week ago. I shouldn't forget, Dimitri. He was there a week ago doing a tour of Iran. He's very critical of the U.S. government and sympathetic to the Iranian regime. But he did a tour. He told me about the destruction. Can you tell me the state of things in Iran, the Iranians you speak to, not only the ones you speak to, just a general consensus? Because we are hearing a lot about Iranians rallying behind the flag because they hate the regime. But when you have another country bombing them and threatening to bomb the schools, not the schools, bombing a school, but threatening to bomb the bridges, bomb the country back to the Stone Ages, that turns people that are even critical of the regime, that type of rhetoric, turns them to support the regime against a common enemy.
Yeah. Okay. So there are a few things happening in Iran right now. Under internet blackout, or the fact that if they even can get access to any SIM card or buy internet, it's super expensive, so they can't do it. But there is one thing is still working. In their phone, they get messages. They get messages from the government. If you don't come and support on the rally of so-and-so date, you're going to be arrested. If you don't come to the masjid, which is these are the messages. So they don't have internal internet or access to anything. They cannot call outside. We cannot call them. There is no internet, but there are messages coming to them saying that you have to join the rally. We get you money. We give you money. We give you this. We give you that. And even tonight, I think a few hours ago, the state TV, they announced that children, moms and dad, brings your kids, bring the whole family and stay in front of the areas that the Trump has said, I'm going to bomb them. Okay.
So you're hearing right from her. Right from her, she's saying, hey, the government, they're limiting the internet access. They can't get much. If they can't get the internet on a little card or whatever, it's very expensive, cost prohibitive. But what they can get are government messages. Hey, go down to that power plant and bring your kids because Trump said he's gonna attack it. And if you don't come to some of these things, we're gonna arrest you. As I said before, when they had their protests in Iran against the regime, thousands of them were killed by the regime. I think the number was 37,500. Between that amount and like 70,000 people were killed by the regime. So some of that element is still kind of there. Although we have eliminated quite a bit of their leadership, there's still some of the leadership there. Okay, so that's why they went down to the power plant to form a human chain, because the government told them to directly to their phone. Hey, come on out and bring your kids with you. That's not a very good regime, I don't think. Okay, now, there was a leaker arrested. We got a leaker. It's a little bit of breaking news just happened about a couple hours ago. Okay, about 6 p.m. today. And you'll never guess who it is. You never guess how this person looks, okay? Are you ready? Are we ready? Okie dokie. So this is, hold on, U.S. Army veteran Courtney Williams. And I know her from somewhere. I know this person from somewhere. I cannot put my finger on it, but I know her. Do you guys know who that is? I recognize her. I don't know where I saw her, but I don't forget her face. I know her. Anyway, U.S. Army vet Courtney Williams charged with leaking classified information to a journalist. Now, okay, other than a few factual errors, I would definitely have been concerned with the amount of classified info being disclosed. I thought the things I was telling you, okay, I'm not sure where this is from. I'm going to just read this and then we'll continue because I have another piece. Other than a few factual errors, I would definitely have been concerned with the amount of classified information being disclosed. I thought the things I was telling you so you can have a better general understanding how the SMU was set up or operated would not be published. And it feels like an entire TTP was sent out in my name, giving them a chance to legally persecute me and probably person one. The complaint also indicates Williams showed concern to her mother about this, saying, I might actually get arrested, and I didn't even get a copy of the free book. Williams indicated her concerns were for disclosing classified information. So again, this is a leaker, Courtney Williams. Do you guys recognize her? Because that face, I'm gonna figure out who that is. I'm gonna do some research and figure out who that is. She had a book too. I'm gonna do a video about her because I know there's more that I'm not quite getting here. But anyway, here is President Trump talking about it. So there's a tweet. Let me see if I can just zoom out and read the tweet for you guys as well. FBI and our partners have arrested a former SOCOM employee who supported our top-level military warfighters for allegedly transmitting classified information to a member of the media. Outstanding work by FBI Charlotte and FBI Counterintelligence and Espionage Division, as well as our Justice Department partners. Let us serve as a message to any would-be leakers working with these cases, and we're making arrests. The FBI will not tolerate those who seek to betray our country and put Americans in harm's way. All right, let's check it out from President Trump. Matter of fact, do it like this.
As you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for...
Okay, let's get the sound together, ABL. Start from the top.
As you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour. Then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And We know who, and you know who we're talking about, because some things you can't do. Because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award.
All right, there we go. So that was a little bit about the leaker, and they were able to arrest this person, Courtney Williams. And here's an article that she had put out previously. This is from August 12th, 25. And it says here on Politico, my life became a living hell. One woman's career in Delta Force, the Army's most elite unit. Courtney Williams wanted to serve for her country. What happened next shocked her. Now, I hope this ain't about, oh, I'm a woman and they single me out. No. Because you are a leaker. So what are we talking about? Don't be a victim here. Maybe I'm wrong about what it's going to be about, but I don't think so. And of course, you could read this here. I'm going to read this piece right here. Courtney Williams, 24 years old, when she learned of an intriguing job opportunity at an unnamed special mission unit at Fort Bragg. Let me zoom in. North Carolina, the headquarters of the top secret Joint Special Operation Command. That's JSOC. It was 2010, and she was coming off a 4-year enlistment in the Army, in which she'd been an interrogator and an Arabic linguist, but never deployed. Arabic linguist. That's interesting. Did you leak the information in Arabic? She was recruited at a job fair by K2 Solutions, a contractor in Southern Pines, North Carolina, run by former members of Delta Force, the Army component of the JSOC. If you want to read this, it's on Politico. That is the leaker right there, Courtney Williams. Let's keep on going here. Now, can someone please, speaking of Arabic, can someone please check on Tucker Carlson? Can somebody give him a welfare check? Can somebody go to his house and see if he's okay? Because he is not taking any of this very well, okay? Let's take a look right quick. Tucker Carlson.
There will be nothing like it. Open the effing strait. How dare you speak that way on Easter morning to the country? Who do you think you are? You're tweeting out the F word on Easter morning? You'll be living in hell, as if hell is a place. Hell is a condition, and this is an example of that condition. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. You're mocking the religion of Iran. Okay. If you seek a religious war, that's a good idea. The message of all faith at the biggest picture level is the message in our Bible, which is you are not God. And only if you think you are do you talk this way. This is a mockery not just of Islam, it's a mockery of Christianity. To send out a tweet with the F word on Easter morning promising the murder of civilians and then saying praise be to Allah without explaining any of it, you are mocking me and every other Christian because we're Christians. We can't support that.
Okay, now, you may agree that the F word was a little much on Easter. You may agree with that. But do you guys think that mocking Allah is anti-Christian? I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. I don't know about saying, praise Allah is anti-Christian, or mocking that is anti-Christian. So when somebody does an Allahu Akbar attack, what is that? Is that anti-Christian? Like, what's going on? Praise Allah, anti-Christian. Allahu Akbar, kaboom, anti-Christian. Tucker, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you, bro. And again, someone please check on my man. Allah does mean God, apparently. I mean, they say it means God, but I'm not quite sure about that. I'm not quite sure about that, and because they don't say praise God, they say praise Allah. Why you don't just say praise God? Oh, okay. Anyway, hey, that TDS is real. It's contagious as well. Now, here's a good clip. Now, hopefully my man will be nice and clean this time rather than being vulgar as he can be. Bill Maher. This is him talking to Anna Kasparian, the Armenian of the Young Turks, which is hilarious, about, hey, if you could pick anywhere in the Middle East to be and just be free, where would that be?
If you had to live in the Middle East, so tomorrow, Anna, you got to go live in the Middle East, where would you live? You can pick one city, any city. You can, as far away as, say, Pakistan. You could live in Karachi. You could live in Cairo. You could live in Amman, Jordan. You seem to love Lebanon. I mean, Beirut's nice when the bombing's not happening and the assassinations have stopped. Or you could live in Syria. I hear that's wonderful in the summer.
Well, we now have Al-Qaeda terrorists leading Syria.
Or the Houthis, I'm sure, would make room for you.
Yeah.
Tel Aviv, or the West Bank, Ramallah, I think is wonderful for a little, in the fall, it gets lovely. Where would you live? What city would you live in?
Well,
where do you think you'd be comfortable in that dress?
I'm sure it would not be comfortable in this dress in any of the various Middle Eastern countries that have been destabilized by the United States.
You're not really blaming it on Whitey.
Listen.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're blaming Islam on Whitey?
Yeah.
I'm not blaming Islam on Whitey.
But what you're saying, we destabilized, that's why you can't wear that dress?
Did we not destabilize?
Wait a second.
We were funding terrorist organizations in Syria during the Syrian Civil War, starting under the Obama administration.
That's why
Did that not destabilize Syria?
No, what's destabilized?
There's a literal Al-Qaeda terrorist.
We're talking about your dress.
Oh,
why?
It looks good. I know it looks good.
You're saying you can't wear that dress in Syria because of Whitey destabilizing?
I didn't say that.
Okay, that's
You're
what it
putting words in my mouth.
Okay, great.
But
that's
the United
what it
States
sounded
did
like.
destabilize various Middle Eastern countries. Are you going to deny that?
And I asked about the dress, and you went right to destabilize. So is that why you couldn't wear that dress? Why couldn't you wear that dress? Why couldn't you?
You want me to talk about jihadism and Islam, but
why won't you?
Listen.
Why won't you?
I mean,
Why?
She won't because she don't want to get the Allahu Akbar activity at her house in Los Angeles. That's why.
I don't believe in jihadism, which is why I'm furious that the United States just had a freaking Al-Qaeda terrorist in the White House.
It's not just jihadism that is preventing you from wearing that dress. Are you saying every Muslim is a jihad? I don't think they are.
Bill.
Okay, why can't you wear that dress?
Let's focus for a second.
No, you won't answer this question.
Wow. But we all know why she can't wear that dress in these Muslim places is because that's their culture. She can't even go to Dubai like that. Go to Dubai like that. You're going to go straight to the penitentiary. And Dubai, that'd be the best place for you because it's more of a Western type of place. It's more of a Las Vegas, but even they don't play that in a place like Dubai. Now, on the underground, you can do that, but you're not trying to be involved with that, Anna. Like you're not trying to see when you go to a place like a Dubai, for example. It's like you got extremes going on. If you're just a regular normie going there, you can't wear stuff like that. If you are in the underground scene and doing something a little bit unseemly, you could do whatever you want, but you can't do whatever you want because you're going to be like a slave over there, okay? A human trafficking victim. You don't want to be that. You want to be a free person, being able to wear what you want within reason and enjoy yourself. You can't really do that over there because of the culture. Destabilizing, what they got to do with it? Dubai is not unstable. It's not destabilized, but you still can't wear that. So let's call it what it is, Anna. Just say what it is. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, whatever Tucker Carlson has as far as Trump derangement syndrome, I believe Lawrence O'Donnell, stop hammering. I think he has that as well over on MSNOW now. No more MS-13 DNC, no more MSDNC, no more MSNBC. It is now MSNOW, as you can see right there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Let's check it out. Bottom right-hand corner, not left. I know my directions. Let's start from the top. And RIP in advance to the headphone users.
A whole civilization will die tonight. Hitler never said that. No head of state in the history of the world ever said that. Civilization had to wait literally thousands of years until today, April 7th, 2026, at 8:06 a.m. for a head of state to say and threaten a whole civilization will die tonight. No cruel king ever threatened that. No mass murdering tyrant anywhere in the world ever said that or even thought it was possible.
Lawrence. Okay, you're talking about words. You're upset with words because there's one thing to say something, to threaten something. It's another to actually do it, because we've seen actual murderous dictators. We've seen Pol Pot, Idi Amin, Mao Zedong. We've seen these people, Hitler. We've seen these guys actually do things. You're talking about words. Why are you comparing the murderous actions of actual dictators, of actual murderous people, to words? Let's be serious.
And so the United States of America now must live with the permanent stain on our history that we are the only country in the world who has produced a head of state who said a whole civilization will die tonight. And with that statement, it could not be more tragically clear now that a whole civilization has already died. The whole civilization beginning with the model of the British Parliament leading to the first.
All right, that's enough. I mean, so dramatic. So dramatic. It's like, come on, man. You guys have missed your calling. You guys are theater kids. You missed your calling. Okay, you're on television now, and you continue in your acting. But I'm not really buying it. It's okay. It's okay. It's a nice try, Lawrence, but I'm not really buying what you're telling me. You can't compare words to what someone actually did. If I say, I'm going to beat you up, how is that the equivalent of a Mike Tyson just going completely bonkers in a nightclub and knocking everybody out? It ain't the same thing. Anyway, now a little bit of good news. We got some jobs coming to South Carolina that pay $125,000 a year working with your hands, because as I told you guys before, blue collar work, physical work, that's going to be where the money is. Okay, either you're going to be building AI, working with tech, something like that, or you're going to be working with your hands to make some money in this country. Okay, let's check it out. This is going to be Century Aluminum in South Carolina, Goose Creek, South Carolina. And this is as a result of the tariffs actually working. Check it out.
Stuart, we're talking about 150 jobs here at the smelting plant in South Carolina, and these are good paying jobs. They're going to pay on average of $125,000 a year. The plant here is going back to 100% manufacturing capacity for aluminum after they had to idle some of their production lines back in 2015 when the CEO says prices were just too low and competition from foreign suppliers was just too fierce. Listen to him here.
The tariffs are working. As Peter Navarro said recently, they're sacred to this administration. And we're really confident that if we continue to do what we need to do, invest in this country, reshore supply chains, and hire more American workers to manufacture and build communities like we have here in Goose Creek, South Carolina, or in NOLA, Oklahoma, we'll be successful for a long time here in America.
So, Stuart, I want to show you the work that's happening right here, because you can see the workers are building out what they call pot lines here at this smelting plant. This is where heavy-duty equipment will be housed that melts the aluminum, purifies the aluminum, mixes it with other types of metals to produce their finished products for their commercial customers. Once these pot lines are up and running, they will operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this kind of domestic production is so important for our country, because right now most aluminum comes from foreign sources, mostly from China, and some of it, about 8%, is coming from the Middle East, which is driving prices higher. And the CEO of Century Aluminum here in South Carolina says that underscores the importance of building up domestic production like you see happening right here, Stuart.
There we go. So again, Goose Creek, South Carolina, tariffs are working. We got jobs, actual jobs here, making on average, not up to, that was the key, on average, 125 a year, 125,000 a year. So shout out to Trump for the tariffs, making jobs come back to the USA. Now, Eric Swalwell, my man right here, this guy allegedly is a creep. And there are quite a few people that came out and said that he's doing something. Or there are quite a few women who say that they may come out and say that he did something to him. Inappropriate touching, sexual harassment, all these things. And of course, Eric Swalwell is married and has 3 children. Been married since 2016. So 10 years almost right now. Check it out.
The Democratic candidate currently leading in the California governor's race has a known history of being predatory towards women. And while it may be seen as politically expedient to sweep this under the rug, it is the wrong thing to do, and we know it. I worked on the Hill. I know many women who still do, and this message that I received yesterday is not unique. I have received others, and there are many women who have reached out to other political commentators and to reporters with their stories. This particular message follows the same pattern as the other allegations currently circulating. You know Eric Swalwell has slept with many of his interns and makes them all sign NDAs so they don't speak up, right? And when I was 19, he tried hitting on me and sliding into my DMs, and I have so many other friends that have similar experiences with him. Like I said, this message that I received is not an anomaly. It's part of a pattern. Other commentators have come forward, like this one, saying that no less than a dozen people have come forward to them alleging that Swalwell has had inappropriate relationships with young staffers for years. I understand that because the Trump administration is currently trying to weaponize similar allegations against Swalwell, having this conversation or publicly acknowledging it may feel like aligning with Trump, but that is not the truth. It is aligning with women.
Now, there's more, but I ain't gonna play the full video. If you want to see the full thing, I put it in my actual video I did on this, also on my website. But you get the idea. This is not a MAGA. It's not a conservative. This is a liberal woman who's saying that this is what he does. And it's been a long history of it. And we all know about Fang Fang. We all know about Yum Yum. And if you guys have not seen that, or even if you have, let me show that to you one more time. Now, Fang Fang, Yum Yum, Eric Swalwell was linked to a Chinese spy back in the day named Fang Fang. Well, a certain congressman calls her Yum Yum. Okay, this is going to be, what's the guy's name? I forget his name. Nels, Congressman Nels, and there's Swalwell. This is from 2023. Check it out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Rodriguez, I apologize that you're here for a hearing on the border. They don't want to talk about a border. Mr. Swalwell is down there. Obviously, everybody knows he's made some comments. He's got a checkered past. He's alleged relationships.
A checkered past?
I would ask. It's my time. Alleged affairs, relationships with Yum Yum.
You don't get to say that. That's not true.
He had alleged relationships with Yum Yum.
I asked the gentleman's words be taken down.
You don't get to say
Mr.
that.
Chairman,
I asked the gentleman's words be taken down as casting a slur on another member.
I am here.
He's making.
So this is Troy Nels from Texas, a Republican congressman, Republican U.S. House Rep, Troy Nels from Texas, talking about Yum Yum, which is hilarious. That is so funny. Yum Yum. And nobody, like, what are you really going to say? Well, that's offensive. Well, what's offensive, sir, is you and Yum Yum being together in the first place. That's offensive. Anyway, so shout out to Yum Yum. Okay. He has a past, and everybody knows it. It's not about, a left or right thing, or right-wing attack. No, that's just Eric Swalwell. And again, this guy, Swalwell, is currently leading the California gubernatorial race. So he most likely will become California's next governor, unless you guys in California are able to overthrow the Democratic Party, which is going to be a lot easier said than done. Okay. Now let's keep on going. As I said in my video, and as I said earlier tonight, some are going to say, well, look, ABL, it's just allegations. You can't say that they're telling the truth, because we've seen women lie. They lied on Trump. They lied on Brett Kavanaugh. They lied on Clarence Thomas. They lied on this person and that person, all this and that. But see, the problem is you can't make that argument if you're Eric Swalwell that they could be lying, because in this very same instance, and this very same situation, when you were not involved, you said it must be true. You got 3 to 4 different women who don't know each other saying the exact same thing. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You must be guilty. That's what he said. Let's watch this. Then we keep on moving.
For Brett Kavanaugh's sake, if he is innocent, I hope tomorrow he opens his statement and says, you know what? Bring in all the victims. Allow them to be heard. Allow them to be questioned. That will clear his name if he's indeed innocent. And if he's not, for the sake of the credibility of the court, I hope that the senators would vote against him. It's very easy to isolate one incident and, shine inaccuracies or inconsistencies on that case. But the more and more cases that are separate and independent that look the same, pretty soon a prosecutor starts to say to a jury, and this is not a jury, but it's allegations that the arrows are pointing in the same directions. And what are the chances that 3 or 4 women independently who never met each other would have similar experiences with one person? So either, Ari, this person committed these horrific acts, or he is the single unluckiest person in the world for these people to conspire and make up lies against him. But it's a very hard case to make, the more allegations that come in. For Brett Kavanaugh's sake,
so Eric Swalwell, if and when you have 12, 13, 20 women who come out against you who don't know each other over a period of years with pictures, documents, all of that, what are you going to say? This very same argument you use against Brett Kavanaugh to try to throw him under the bus? Or are you going to say something else? Now, if you say something else, that means you're a hypocrite and it means you're a liar. Right there, you've proven yourself to be a liar and a hypocrite. So don't do that, sir. Don't do that, sir. Hey, to my Californians, hey, what Elon do? My heart goes out to you, for real. My heart really does go out to you because this guy's a mess. He's a mess. Can I show something right quick? Can I show his picture? His Wikipedia picture? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, I've been around a little bit too long. Is it just me, or is his jaw leaning a little bit? Like over here. Is that jaw leaning a little bit? His teeth are not necessarily aligned. Now, is it just he needs braces, or is it like, I know you've been raw. Is it Bobby Brown jaw? The cocaine usage. What's happening? I don't know. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, speaking about California, because shout out to my California people in here. I know you guys love me talking about California. If you don't, it's okay. It's okay. You'll still be here. Now, let's talk about this. In Long Beach, California, where they drill holes in your gas tank to siphon your gas. My thing is, why you got to damage my car? What happened to the old days of just popping my tank open and getting it that way? Maybe what they have now is a little lock on the tank so you can't get in through the actual little door, through the port. So what they're doing now is drilling a hole in your gas tank like it's a oil change to get your gas up out of there that way. But you know what? Hey, at a certain point, maybe I don't blame them because you got gas that costs $1,000 a gallon. I mean, good grief. It causes you to steal. Anyway, let's watch this.
POV, you live in Long Beach.
Okay, my man just cussing. I understand you cussing. You're mad because they didn't drill a hole into your gas tank. Now, I don't know how you're going to repair that. Can you just patch that up? Can you just get a piece of something and solder it right quick? Little quick welding job, like a piece of metal. Cut out a piece of metal, piece of steel, and just, can you do that? Or do you need to buy a whole new gas tank? I don't know. But that's Long Beach, Los Angeles, California. That's a new way to siphon gas. Just drill a hole straight through your tank. But gas is like how much a gallon? $6, $7, $8 a gallon. Even before the whole Iran kerfuffle, it was high. California way too expensive, man. I was out there two or 3 days, a Uber ride, 5 miles $75. You want to leave the airport in a Uber, $100 off the rip. To go from point A to point B, it'd be like half a mile, $100. And I understand why, because it's expensive. Taxes, gas, everything. Life is expensive in California. Okay, now, speaking about theft, they also steal in copper wires in Van Nuys, California.
Copper wire thieves strike again, this time stealing cables out of here.
They opened the lid and it's heavy, I'm guessing. They slammed it. That woke me up.
That's when she started recording this video. It's from around 3 a.m. Monday morning. One crook wearing a hoodie, the other shirtless with a medical mask, surgically removing those underground copper cables. Their getaway car, a black Scion. Did it seem like they took a lot of stuff?
It did. It was 3 loads of bags of copper wire.
You called 911?
I did. The moment that thing woke me up, I was invested and I was like, I want to see what's going to happen. I want the cops to show up. I want to maybe see it later in the news.
This is about a block away from where that happened. AT&T here. Is that happening a lot?
Oh yeah.
See, the streetlights have also been hit. All these cables ripped out. Another one. More cables ripped out. Right now there's about 32,000 active streetlight repair requests across LA. How long did it take for police to show up?
Over an hour. Like they got here 10 minutes after they left. So I was like, oh my God, you guys almost had them.
All right, there we go. So that's over there in Van Nuys, California. Hey, we still in there. We still in gas, copper wire, or whatever. And then I saw you guys saying, well, if you're going to be welding with that gas, it's going to be unfortunate because you get that spark. Yeah, that spark, you don't want that. The spark going to ignite. You don't want that. So I don't know what you're going to do to fix the gas tank or to fix these poles from keep getting hit with the copper wire. But you got to do something, I would suppose, right? Or just live in darkness. Now, here is California again. I'm not sure where this location is specifically in the Golden State, but it could be anywhere. I saw stuff like that all over the place during my time in California, but let's watch some of this.
Welcome to Gavin Newsom's California. Billions of dollars have been spent trying to clean up the homeless here in California, and look at what it looks like.
It's no point to spending money to try and fix this stuff because the more you spend, the more you get, because all you're going to do is enable the homelessness. That's all you're going to do is enable it. Look at this. This is like America post-apocalyptic. A war happened, a calamity happened, the economy is falling, and you have this. But see, the thing about it is, it's deceptive. You'll see this in the city. Go up in the hills, it's totally different. Go up in certain neighborhoods, totally different. There's a big class stratification. The haves and the have-nots is big. It's like India, where you got the biggest house you ever seen, all beautiful, everything nice and glossy, right next to a complete slum. Slumdog Millionaire type stuff. That's like what's happening right now in California. Third world living conditions, where you have some parts of the country that are very nice, other parts that are not. So there we go. Okay, now, here's a study. People who leave California are 48% more likely to own a home within a certain period of time. So if you're living in California, it's hard to live and you have a skill that can transfer, I suggest you transfer. Now, Tennessee is full, so I don't recommend Tennessee. Where should the Californians go, Chad? Where should they go? Should they go to Texas? Should they go to Florida? South Carolina? Let me know. Give me the suggestions for California expats to visit or to live.
And this morning, a new study.
RIP headphone users. Let's start from the top, please.
And this morning, a new study finds that Californians who leave the state are 48% more likely to own a home within 7 years compared to those who stay. This is according to research from the UC Policy Lab.
What we're seeing is that middle income tranche leaving because they want to be able to buy a home. They want to be able to raise their kids in something more than an apartment.
The study says lawmakers should focus on affordability and restoring California's appeal to current residents and potential newcomers.
What can they do? California is expensive. There's not much they can do other than reducing the taxes, reducing the expenditure to live there. Now, I get it. It's desirable. It's a great place to live if you can afford it, if you can live a good lifestyle and not be on the streets, not be in an apartment, not be struggling. It's a great place to live. But it's just too much. It's entirely too much, and people are leaving as a result. California, New York, they're leaving and they're going to greener pastures, quite literally, where their money will go a lot further and will get them more ultimately. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking. Hold on. Gary says Idaho is full to the brim. Yeah, I know Idaho is completely full. Okay, Texas is full. Idaho is full. Yeah, North Carolina, yes. North Carolina, South Carolina, all full. So I don't know what you're going to do, Californians, but I'm praying for you. Hey, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully you find what you're looking for. But yes, home ownership in a place like California is almost going to be impossible. And you got to make a decision. Either stay in California and enjoy that place in an apartment, or maybe not the best neighborhood, or become a millionaire overnight, or move where it makes the most sense for you to be. 8-Bit Only says, I'm a California refugee, moved to Texas. There you go. A lot of y'all in Texas. Now, this is going to be Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles. We got another person up under the street. There was one lady, I saw the lady that went viral, who was under the street living there. We got another guy living under the sidewalk here. Check it out. Hey, Sadie, I do not have a spare room. Okay. Hey, matter of fact, I'm full. Hey, ABL, his house is full. Okay. So I don't know what to tell you. You got to figure out somewhere else. Matter of fact, my whole neighborhood is full. So I don't know where you're going to live. Anyway, let's watch this from up under the sidewalk in Los Angeles.
All right. So over here we got, sheesh, what's your name, brother?
Jared.
You heard me? Yeah, hold up. Look at this shit. Y'all wouldn't even fucking believe this. Check out this hole.
Hey.
Shit.
What is happening in California? And you know, these little areas they be in, the smell is got to be like a brand new smell. Because I've smelled quite a few smells in my day. Some good, some bad. And some kind of in between, some neutral. But that right there is going to be a whole brand new scent. My brain is not going to be able to comprehend it. I might not smell it right away. It might be like a latent smell. I might smell it like a day later. Like, what's that?
Hey.
Yeah. And what's your name again, brother?
Jaren.
Okay then. In the ground, y'all boys will not fucking believe it. On the boulevard.
Look at that. So you're going to the Walk of Fame, right? In Hollywood. You just minding your business, looking at the stars, taking pictures. All of a sudden, here comes a dude emerging from the actual sidewalk. Like, yo, hey, I'm Jaren. What's your name? Handshake. Meanwhile, you don't know where his hand's been. Matter of fact, you know where they've been, up under the actual street. Up under the ground. LA. Get it together, man. Please. I beg. Now, speaking about California, Gavin Newsom's wife. Oh my goodness. She does not like being called lady. Is it because you're not a human? Are you a lizard person? This is a 2019 clip in which she says she doesn't like being called lady. Check it out.
Really, with First Partner, I wanted to continue the work that we have been doing at the Reparation Project, which is basically deconstructing stereotypes, in particular gender stereotypes. And I felt like lady was sort of a backwards connotation of who we really are as wives, as partners, as spouses. Really, with First Partner, I wanted...
Okay, So she calls herself first partner rather than first lady, which is what you're supposed to do. Okay, you're the governor, you're Gavin Newsom, your wife, Miss Newsom is the first lady. You're the president, you're President Trump, Melania is the first lady. But Mr. Newsom's wife does not want to be called lady because that's too restrictive. It's not really enough to describe what she does. She's deconstructing gender stereotypes. Now, listen, I have a question to all the ladies in the chat, to all the ladies in the world. Is the term lady offensive to you? I was always taught that saying lady is nice. I say young lady. That's my thing. That's like a Southern gentleman way of talking to a woman. Okay, she's a nice young lady. Hello, young lady, that kind of thing. Or, the lady on the bus, she was so nice to me. She gave me a box of cookies, and she was just the greatest lady in the world. It's like a respectful term to refer to a woman, rather than the B word or something crazy like that. Young lady, nice young lady. But for Miss Newsom, it's not enough. She wants more. How do y'all feel about that? Anyway, let's keep on going. And here is a more updated clip. Talking about boys. Hey, you know what? Not only should women not be called lady, boys should not be right wing. Let's watch.
Boys, we all know, I think, or increasingly are realizing that boys are moving away from sort of the more progressive boys that spend time online, are moving a little bit, I'm trying not to be political here, but are moving to the right and being sort of influenced by the Andrew Tates and some of that sort of alt-right socialization online that we know is very, very dangerous. My husband and I were alarmed when our kids were watching sports online and my son knew about Andrew Tate.
Pause. Why does your son know who Andrew Tate is? It's because Andrew Tate appeals to your boy in a way that you guys aren't. You guys aren't telling him things that Andrew Tate is. You're not speaking to him about things that, okay, so here's what I'm saying. Andrew Tate will appeal to your boy if you are not being told, I got to rephrase this properly. Andrew Tate will appeal to your boy if he is being told some of these things and told some of these subjects for the very first time. You guys are not telling him anything. He's not getting any kind of education about what Andrew Tate is telling them, about women, about how to be a man, all kind of stuff like that. So they're going to get it from him rather than y'all. If you guys were good at what you were doing, raising your children properly, and you told them about certain things, when they hear Andrew Tate, it wouldn't be anything new, and they will understand how to process that better. You see? So really, I see it as a failure on your part if your kids know who that is and they're influenced by them in any kind of way, as you. Anyway, keep on going.
And thought he was pretty cool and thought that his Republican grandfather, who's not a Trumper, but a fiscal conservative, thought that my father would like Andrew Tate. So that's scary. We're like one of the most progressive households, and our son is confused and asking all these questions.
He's not confused. You guys just aren't giving him anything that he can really utilize as a young man. And he's seeking that out in other places, a la Andrew Tate.
We're working on legislation to hold tech companies accountable and help them be a force for good in our kids' and families' lives. To really provide all the best in class resources and support for youth so that they don't go down this rabbit hole of very, very dangerous and limiting narratives around ultimately what it means to be a girl and what it means to be a boy. We owe it to them and ourselves to kind of heal this gift of modern technology, but curb it to be a force for good. I mean, look, the Gov and I, we have 3 more years. We're trying to institutionalize our values so that they carry on beyond our term.
Oh boy, man, I was struggling so hard to complete that video. My goodness, the talking is just too much. It's just way too much from Gavin Newsom's wife. I just don't want to. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he deals with it. That man, make you want to just skydive from the Eiffel Tower. That's what it make you want to do. But anyway, your boys are watching Andrew Tate because you guys are not telling them anything. You guys are teaching them nothing. All that progressive stuff, they don't want that. It's like trying to convince a boy that playing with a doll is okay. They don't want the doll. They want the truck. You guys aren't giving them anything to really nourish them properly in their male upbringing. That's a problem that you got to deal with. Now, here is Gavin talking about his son was a big fan of Charlie Kirk. No matter how much you try to make these boys into something else, at a certain point, if they have access to information, if they're able to become educated in the proper way, all your progressive teachings are not going to work. So let's watch my man right here, Gavin Newsom, talk about his son being a big fan of Charlie Kirk. And RIP to my brother, Charlie Kirk, rest in peace.
Last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie going to be here? What time? And I'm like, dude, you're in school tomorrow. He's 13. He's like, no. This morning, wakes up at 6 something. He's like, I'm coming. I'm like, he literally would not leave the house.
Did you let him take off school?
No, he did. Of course not. He's not here for a good reason. But the point is
you canceled school for like 2 years. One day.
The point is the point, which is you are making a damn dent.
Thanks.
Last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like,
wait. You putting your 13-year-old son to bed. Did I hear that right? Do you put a 13-year-old to bed? Weird. Okay.
Like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie going to be here? What time? And I'm like, dude, you're in school tomorrow. He's 13. He's like, no.
13? By 13? Bro, you put in a 13-year-old to bed. By 13, I was pretty much doing, like, it wasn't no putting me to bed. I'm going to just go to bed. Okay? It ain't no, I got to get tucked in, bedtime story. Nah. I'm in, 8th grade at that point? Yeah. Ain't no putting me to bed. But yeah, RIP Charlie. Let's keep rocking and rolling. There's a lot about Gavin Newsom's wife we got to talk about. Excuse me. In 2007, she contacted Harvey Weinstein for some advice, legal advice. For real.
Sure.
But later accused him of sexual assault. Okay, let's watch.
Jurors in the trial here in L.A. of Harvey Weinstein will be allowed to hear the details of an email sent to Weinstein by the wife of Governor Newsom. Defense lawyers say Jennifer Siebel Newsom sent the email to Weinstein in 2007 when she was dating the future governor, who was then mayor of San Francisco. She wanted advice about dealing with the media amid a sex scandal involving Gavin Newsom. California's first partner is among the dozens of women who have accused Weinstein of sexual assault. Jurors in the trial here in L.A. of...
That's kind of weird. So there's a Harvey Weinstein connection. Oh, okay. Did I say Epstein? I meant Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein, tomato. Anyway, now, one more about her, then I move on. She killed her sister when she was 7 years old. By accident. So she says. For real. Let's watch.
I had to be very raw when we interviewed the young men who were juvenile offenders in San Quentin. I told them about my own loss, where I lost my older sister a few days before my 7th birthday, and I blamed myself for her death. And I share that because that they ultimately were accused of committing these violent crimes and sentenced for life. And I think it shocked them that this, blonde lady who was, interviewing them had a similar story, was perhaps in the wrong place at the wrong time. but wasn't punished the way they were because clearly it was an accident, but theirs was probably an accident too. So anyway, I share that just because I guess, I quite enjoy spending time with people and being real and unmasking and showing them that it's safe to unmask themselves.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, there we go. So here's an article about that particular incident. So Gavin Newsom's wife opens up about survivor's guilt after golf cart accident that killed her sister. Jennifer Newsom reflected on how the death of her sister when they were children has driven her throughout her life. Highlighted portion, the sisters were playing on golf carts during a family vacation in Hawaii when tragedy struck. Stacy, Newsom's wife, eight at the time, was hiding behind Jennifer's cart when the cart went backward, killing Stacy, according to the LA Times. Jennifer's only 6 when the accident occurred. It resonated throughout her life, pushing her to excel in sports and academics. Okay, there we go. Let's keep going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And where are we going to go from here? Oh, okay, I got to show this one. Zohran Mamdani. The revolution is revolting against Mamdani.
We all voted for you because you promised to stand with working people and end the abusive 24-hour workday.
We have to end the 24-hour workday.
Mamdani, cumple tu promesa.
Zohran, it is now week 3 of home care workers sitting in. Why have you said nothing?
Instead, you're parroting the racist, sexist lie that immigrant women choose 24-hour workdays.
Mamdani, come outside.
So, you guys thought that Zohran was going to actually follow through on his campaign promises, free this, free that. No. And we on the right, your conservative uncles and aunts and cousins and friends and moms and dads and whatnot, we told y'all that he was not going to follow through on these things. And if he did follow through, you would not like the results of what he does because it's not going to benefit you in any kind of way. So now you're dealing with socialism, a little bit of it, and you're not really getting what you want. So what? Oh, well. Y'all voted for it after we warned you. Now you got to do with it. Have a good time with that. And if you're in New York, I'm so sorry if you didn't vote for this man. I am so sorry for you. My heart goes out to you. But hey, blame these individuals who were hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray by this man to vote for him. But you know what? They probably will do it again because they don't learn. That's a problem. They don't learn. Something happens to them. They do something wrong. There's a negative outcome and they don't learn. They keep on doing the same thing over and over again. All right. Now, here's Mamdani talking about racism in the country. Okay. We're going to fix racism. My campaign promises, I might get to you on that. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But what we got to do right now is fix racism. Let's watch.
In this report, what we've seen, it's a report that is both coupled with a true cost of living report, is that the inequities in this city, the racial inequities, are stark. We are talking about findings that have shown that the wealth of a median white household in the city is more than $200,000, while that of a black household is less than $20,000. This is not an indictment of any one New Yorker. It is an indictment, however, of policies and politics that have persisted for far too long. Our commitment now is to act upon these findings, to do so in concert with New Yorkers' comments, as we've now opened a public comment period for the next 30 days to ensure that we have a city where we are reckoning with the long history of racism here and starting to act upon a framework that puts equity right at the center of it.
Okay, now, there's a lot there, but there's a lot of nothing. You said a lot of nothing because, okay, you're talking about we're going to have open and public comment. What does that actually mean? What will that do? What will that yield as far as any kind of progress at all? Nothing, because you can talk about it all you want to. Actions and words are two different things. public comments, having discussions, doing a podcast, doing a press conference does nothing because it's just words without action. And what are you really going to do to shore up the income gap? 100,000 on average for a white family, 20,000 for a black family. And also, your statistics include the top of the top. Take away the top of the top, it looks a little bit more realistic. You're including the people who actually pay the taxes in the city, like the upper 1%. You're talking about them and your numbers. So the numbers are not really right. Even if they are, you're not going to do anything to change it. What you going to do? Just tax people more? Okay. Now we're going back to the drawing board, tax and spend. How is that going to work when those you want to tax simply leave? You're not going to solve anything. Or you know what? Here's what you could do. Ready for this? Watch this. You could raise taxes on the 1%, and when they flee, you can reduce the income inequity that way. It'd be pretty much the same at that point because no longer do you have the top 1%. But as a result of the top 1% leaving, the quality of life in New York will just decrease for everyone. So congratulations on that. Fantastic. It's Animal Farm. I got the book behind me right now. It's Animal Farm. We can all be equally poor while the tops of the tops do whatever they want to do. And they advertise in the sky. That's pretty much how that works. So yeah, shout out to Zoran and shout out to all the taxpayers out there in New York City getting fleeced. Okay, now, this is going to be House Rep Al Green looking like a caveman in the face, right? Talking to Al Sharpton. And he's talking about the same kind of thing. Oh, we're going to have a panel, a discussion for reparations. And whenever they say stuff like this, just know that there'll be nothing done. It's going to be talk. It's just a talking point to use on a stage when you're in front of a microphone. But let's watch.
We've got to reconcile our differences. So we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, just as we have a Secretary of Education, a Secretary of Labor. We need a Secretary of Reconciliation who will report directly to a president, not this president, directly to a president. And the job would be to reconcile our differences, and that reconciliation for me, I say this with no shame, no embarrassment. I am unapologetically black, and I say this, that would include reparations for the 240 years of free labor that people still benefit today from, and that we were locked out of opportunities along the way while they were benefiting. So I believe in reparations. And Reverend, there are some people who don't want reparations, but here's my solution to that. I'll take their share.
Okay, first of all, it ain't gonna happen. Like I said before, many times before, whatever you got is whatever you got. Ain't gonna be no more. Whatever you got is whatever you got. It ain't gonna be no more. That's first. But second, you're talking about you want someone to advocate for this, someone to be like in the position, to be in the role, and to report to the president. But you picking and choosing who you want the person to talk to. So if President Trump, let's just say, for example, which is not going to happen, but let's just say, for example, President Trump said, okay, I'm all for reparations. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's get it rolling. Would you just deny the opportunity to yourself because it's Trump? That's stupid. But see, that right there, that kind of talk is from an unserious person. You just talking to talk in front of the crowd. Nothing will come of this because nothing ever comes from this. You guys just talk to hear yourself talk. Talk because you're being paid to talk. Talk because it helps boost your profile so you can get reelected and stay in power and keep doing insider trading. It's not an actually serious thing you're talking about at all. So yeah, shout out to the Geico Caveman, aka Al Green, out there with Al Sharpton at the National Action Network, I believe in New York City, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now, do you guys have problems with teen gatherings, quote unquote teen gatherings, as Mayor Mohawk says, or the teen takeovers? Let's hear from Mayor Mohawk. This might be an older video, but I want to play this to lead into a newer video about some of these so-called teen takeovers. Check it out.
That's not appropriate. We're not talking about mob actions. I didn't say that.
What happened?
Hold on a second, okay? Respectfully, these large gatherings, just hold on a second, y'all. I promise you, we have time to talk. It's important that we speak of these dynamics in an appropriate way. That's not appropriate.
Okay, now let's just pause. The teen takeovers, the mob, the flash mobs, all that kind of stuff, it can be stopped. You could do something to put an end to it or to reduce it, but you got to be willing to do it. You can't be soft on it. You can't be afraid of it. You got to go out to actually do it. Now, out here in my neck of the woods, down in Atlanta, in Cobb County by the Battery, oh, they don't play that kind of stuff. They don't play that kind of stuff at all. They don't play. Cop police, you wouldn't be out there with a takeover. Oh, okay. Well, watch this. Now, this might not be about Cobb. Pardon me. This might not be about Cobb specifically, but it's about the issue of teen takeovers. And I'm going to ask y'all, have you had any issue with the teen takeovers in your community where they go to a place 200, 300 deep, causing mischief, mayhem, getting arrested, doing all kind of stuff? Has that happened where you are? Okay, let's check it out. Teen takeovers.
Now to a nationwide trend known as teen takeovers, a kind of flash mob for a new generation. Lots of kids showing up in the same place at the same time. But police say it's a mess and sometimes it turns violent. CBS News correspondent Jason Allen has more.
Sheriff deputies sprinted to break up fights as teenagers swarmed a trampoline business near Tampa.
Just a teen takeover.
In Chicago, teens raced up streets, running on top of parked cars. In Jacksonville, teens could be seen attacking each other right in front of law enforcement.
I'm gonna go home, I swear. No. We have a place for people like you.
At another Jacksonville takeover event in February, 5 teenagers were shot. Organized on social media, a wave of spur-of-the-moment meetups has been creating chaos in American cities and has even spread overseas.
Is it advertised as a let's come cause chaos? For the most part, yes, that's what it appears to be. It's bring your drama.
In Mesquite, Texas, police keep a close eye on social media for posts advertising the teen takeovers.
When police found out that there was a takeover planned here, they started adding more resources like this, visual deterrence to let kids know they're watching, and it worked. The takeover didn't happen.
Lieutenant Michael Kelly warns these incidents can overwhelm law enforcement and turn dangerous very quickly, like this recent one in a neighboring Texas county, which ended with damage to cars and 3 arrests.
So if they're doing it in a public place, is there a risk to just the general public, too? Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why we have to be out here, because we have to maintain safety and security for everybody.
Police say they're tracking the trend closely, trying to prevent the next takeover and keep their communities safe. Jason Allen, CBS News, Mesquite, Texas.
So yeah, the teen takeovers, what you got to do really is be proactive with the police. Have your deterrents. I think I saw something out here. Yeah, some of these little towers, have your police out there, physically out there. Don't be afraid to arrest some of these people and charge them with stuff. If they got guns, drugs, anything like that, you got to get them out of there. You got to get them out of there because you don't want the criminal element to take over. Yeah, that's TikTok, but it's always been the thing that the teenagers do. Go out there and just do stupid stuff. And the problem, people will say, well, the kids don't have anything to do, they're bored. What they would do is go to a place that's for them to be able to enjoy themselves and act a fool. Like an example, the Battery in Atlanta, which is a great place. Well, it's not in Atlanta, but it's in Atlanta. It's out there in Cobb, what's that, Marietta, Smyrna, Vinings, whatever. Anyway, right by the Truist Park, the Atlanta Braves baseball stadium, they got this whole big thing where you could go and hang out. There's restaurants. There's fun things to do in this area. So it's for you to go hang out responsibly, but they want to go there and act up. Okay, so the cop police, they out there deep. Anybody about to fool, you're going to jail tonight. Okay, you're going to jail tonight. That's how you do that. You don't be soft with it. You got to go really hard with it. Okay, I got limited time here, but I got a few more things I want to show. Shout out to you guys who are still rocking and rolling with me. I appreciate y'all for being here. Oh, the birth tourism. So let's talk about a couple of things. First, 100 women flew from Turkey to America just so they could have their children here and sign up for Medicaid. I am not making this up. Let's watch, please. Okay, let's go ahead and do this.
Crackdown on an alleged anchor baby ring on Long Island. Prosecutors say more than 100 pregnant women from Turkey came here to give birth, so their children were instantly granted U.S. citizenship.
Investigators say the women then used benefits like Medicaid. CBS 2's Carolyn Gussoff reports from Suffolk County.
An alert Smithtown town employee noticed a strange pattern of birth certificates, 5 babies from one house at one time. An investigation led to an international fraud scheme, an alleged birth tourism ring operating on Long Island for 3 years.
The defendants fraudulently facilitated the births in the United States of approximately 119 Turkish children. And those children now hold birthright U.S. citizenship.
It's the 14th Amendment that grants citizenship to any child born in the U.S. Officials say in this case, ringleaders brazenly advertised in Turkey. Translation, if you believe your baby should be born in the USA and become an American citizen, you're in the right place. What's illegal, alleged lies to obtain travel visas, fraudulent Medicaid claims for babies and moms who stayed at 7 birth houses across Suffolk County. Women paid up to $10,000 each for accommodations and free health care paid by U.S. taxpayers.
They're doing it on the backs of the taxpayers. They're milking the Medicaid system.
6 people arrested, charged with money laundering and $2 million in Medicaid fraud. Birth tourism has gotten the president's attention, who recently closed some loopholes.
It is estimated that over 30,000 childbirths occurred in the United States last year alone in connection with this practice.
Prosecutors say the arrests are not about stopping immigration, but those who game the system.
The desire to have your child born in the United States is understandable, but the methods and means employed by these criminals were both unlawful, completely unacceptable.
Medical care in the homes is questionable. Prosecutors say the defendants are selfish individuals who see dollar signs instead of children. In Hauppauge, Long Island, Carolyn Gussoff, CBS 2 News.
100 women from Turkey, but in 1 year, 30,000 babies born this way, just really for a paycheck, ultimately. And they paying. So when people say, oh, well, how can you be against immigration, ABL? The Statue of Liberty, it says, give us your tire, your weak. First of all, that's a poem that was part of a fundraiser. It's not our motto. It's not our credence. But even if it was our motto, give us your tired, weak, and hungry, how you going to be tired, weak, and hungry with 10 bands cash to do the transaction? How you going to be tired, weak, and hungry flying across the oceans to come here and spend money to have your child here? Let's be serious, okay? Let's be all the way serious. It's a game. You're trying to get money, and that's all that it is. Now, somebody that you may or may not know, that you have seen, that I have shown before, was born this way. Oh, yes. Somebody you know was born this way. Hasan Piker, none other than Chunk Yogurt from Young Turk's nephew. Young Turks, Turkish, yes. Hasan Piker's Turkish parents, one of whom is Chunk Yogurt's brother or sister, came here and had him here as an anchor baby and went back to Turkey. But of course, you got to get them benefits for being a birthright citizenship baby. Okay? And I got a podcast to prove it. I have a podcast to prove it. Okay? Let's go ahead. And this is going to be Hasan Piker, podcaster extraordinaire, Twitch streamer, and Chant Uyghur from Young Turk's nephew. Which means Chunk's brother or sister did this.
This is what I always found funny, is that you were born in New Jersey, but then they shipped you right to Turkey.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want you to get an American upbringing.
Well, the thing is, like, it was the other way around. My parents were very sneaky with it. They were like, if we
baby.
Yeah, if we give birth to him, you know the immigrant mentality. If you give birth to him here,
of course,
then he will be American.
Then yep.
Which, sucks to suck, racist. Like, that's just how it works still.
It's a loophole.
Yeah. It's a great loophole. So then they were like, but we don't want them to be too American.
Yeah.
So I grew up. I grew up in Turkey for 18 years.
Did they ever make you guys dress up in Turkey in like traditional costumes? Like when we would put on like.
That's enough of that. Now I don't know who this fat caster is. I don't know who that is. But again, this is Hasan Piker. Let me show you a picture of Chunk and Hasan. Okay. Hasan Piker and Cenk Uygur, just so you get the visual. Okay, and hold on. Now, maybe we have the parents too. We might have the parents right here too. Okay. So there's Hasan. He is 6'4", and there goes Cenk Uygur from Young Turks. You see the Young Turks all go behind him. And I'm not sure who they are. They could be his siblings, relatives, friends. I don't know. But there you go. So look, I'm not an anti-immigrant. I'm not a guy who hates Turkish people, Middle Easterns, or whatever. I just don't want the system to be gamed, especially when that amendment, the 14th Amendment, was for me. It was for Black American descendants of slaves and their descendants. Okay, so after the war, post-slavery, 1868, all Black Americans are citizens, and so shall their descendants. ABL, not this big, giant, basketball-playing, cave-dwelling, giant, mythical Afghanistan dude named Hasan Piker. Not him. Not him. Am I being too much, or am I just making sense? Okay. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously.
Of course.
All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. I got a little bit more time, and I got so many more videos. Okay, let's go to this. All right, hold on. What I want to do? Okay. I got this one right here. She says minimum wage should be. Hold on. We know minimum wage is what? I guess $7.25 on a federal level. Some states it's like 15, 20, or whatever. When you raise minimum wage, all you do is create inflation artificially. You don't actually solve anything. You're not doing anything positive. But some people think that this makes sense. Let's keep raising the wage higher and higher and higher and higher. Therefore, I'll be able to work a low-end job and have a comfy life. She says minimum wage should be $66 an hour. $66 an hour minimum wage. Check it out.
The minimum wage in America would need to be $66 an hour to have the same buying power that the dollar had back in the 80s. You're lucky if you could go on Indeed anymore and find a job that offers more than $18 to $19 an hour. People are out here kicking into the towel, not seeing the point in doing this anymore because they realize that there's no point and they've been scammed out of their life, and they realize that their time is more valuable than money. Some of us don't want to wait until retirement age, until our bodies and our spirits are too old and broken down to even enjoy life, just to look back and see all we did the last 45 years of our lives was clocked in and went to work. Money isn't even everything anymore, yet they have all of us brainwashed into believing chasing that next dollar is more important than caring for each other. You're out here spending your entire life trying to make money that you can't even keep because after you pay all your bills and shit, it's all gone. And once you realize all of this is a scam, that's when the true freedom comes in.
Okay, so there was a lot there. First of all, that's a very unique voice, young lady. Shout out to your voice. I'll never forget the voice. But listen, a lot of people, young, old, or whatever, want to avoid hard work. They want to avoid sacrifice. They want everything to be so easy. They think that things were easier in previous generations, but it was not. People say, oh, well, our parents, they were able to get a house for a bag of beans, but do you know how hard your parents worked? Do you know what they actually had to go through to be able to get to where they wound up being? The effort level, you still got to have that there. the dedication, the effort level, you still got to have that there. And we have quite a bit of creature comforts nowadays that we didn't have back then. There was no cell phone back then. Do you want to give that up? There was no internet. There was no cell phone. All the things that we have right now that make our lives much easier did not exist back then. It wasn't no Indeed.com back in the day. It's never been a thing. I've never gotten a job on Indeed.com ever in my life. It was always a hookup, somebody I knew, going outside, making connections. It was never just, I can just sit on the phone, sit on my computer, push a button, and then just magically become a millionaire or become more than just working a little bit. It's just not how it works. You still got to go out there and put the effort out there. Minimum wage being raised won't help you. You got to go out there and get skills that are desirable in an economy. In the USA, you could do whatever you want. I know young ladies look just like her. Matter of fact, I know a girl look just like this, but she muscular. She look like a combination of this young lady and China from WWE. A muscle mommy, tall, 5'10". Anyway, she's an underwater welder, literally, and go all over the country making six figures. Do you want to do underwater welding or do you want to be a Starbucks barista? If you want to be a barista, you cannot get this kind of money. I'm sorry. If you want to do underwater welding, you can get much more than that. So it's all about what you want to do and how hard you're willing to work. Simple as that. Don't try to aim for the lowest thing and make it be the highest thing, because that lowest thing that becomes high will become the new low. So you're always going to be trying to get above the low, no matter how it gets. Back in my day, was what, $5.25 minimum wage? $5.25. And even now, the federal makes no difference because you got guys getting $15 an hour to work at McDonald's. The low end is not where you should strive to be. You want to go higher than the low. Simple. Underwater basket welder. But nah, she's a real underwater welder. Real talk. She told me that. I'm like, an underwater welder? I knew what that was, but I was surprised. So yeah, shout out to the underwater welders out there. If you have a degree in underwater basket weaving, however, that's not going to be a very good degree. Now, when you make money, you got to spend it properly. That's something else you got to do. Okay, let's talk about that, because this woman earns $7,500 a month and she's broken in debt. How? I'm sure that is more than minimum wage. And even what the minimum wage is proposed by some, $100 an hour, that's much more than that, but yet she's broke. How
much my paycheck is as a Texas teacher of kindergarten and what I do with it. So my direct deposit hit today, it was $7,500.81. I did pay the rent at our condo because I am responsible for that. That was $3,581.
Pause. At our condo, which means she has a husband, roommate, or something like that. So she's going to split bills. So what does he make? Could it be the same amount of money or a little bit more? Probably more. So they got quite a bit of money. Let's start from the top.
How much my paycheck is as a Texas teacher of kindergarten and what I do with it. So my direct deposit hit today, it was $7,500.81. I did pay the rent at our condo because I am responsible for that. That was $3,581. Some change. I'm just going to round everything up here. My utilities for the month at the condo were $1,200. My gym membership is $251 a month. I had groceries delivered this month twice for a total of $548. I did not have enough money this month to move anything to savings. The payment on my G-Wagon is $1,548. I didn't do anything for my kids this month because it was a tight month. As you know, teachers do not make a lot. And then I did get my hair done twice and my nails, totaling $500. I didn't get gas this month. That was my husband's bill. After I add everything up, it was a grand total of negative $124. And that I'll borrow from a friend.
So, do you see the problem? You have a spending problem. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you spend. You make plenty of money, But let's talk about these expenses. Okay, you have a G-Wagon. Do you need a G-Wagon? My cars, I have no car that's ever cost that much in a monthly payment. And I've had pretty nice cars, but that right there is just excessive. And I've made a lot more than $7,500 in the month. Believe that. And I never thought about getting a car that costs that much. You spend too much. Are you paying rent? Hold on. Are you paying rent on the condo? Hold on. Let's go back.
Paycheck is and what I do with it. So my direct deposit hit today. It was $7.81. Condo, because I am responsible. I did pay the rent at our
rent. And how much is the rent?
Condo, because I am responsible for that. That was $3,580.
$3,500 for rent at a condo. You live in a high life. You live in an expensive life. And you're going into debt for it. But why? Why? Do you need a condo that costs that much? Really? Because that ain't nothing but an apartment, for real. And but you're in Dallas? It don't cost much to live in Dallas. I've been to Dallas many times. It don't cost that much. You live in high on the hog. And you are spending too much money. Spend less money, you'll have more money. And you got a husband. How much does he make? What is he spending? What kind of car does he drive? You're spending too much money. That's the problem. Don't worry about, we don't make enough. $7,500 is plenty for a teacher. You just spend too much. That's all. A teacher's pay. Exactly. A teacher's pay. Yeah, that's right, Taylor Langley. Taylor Langley Fitness says $3,500 a condo in Texas. That's insane. Maybe in Seattle. That's what I'm saying. And Dallas, $3,500. Come on, your condo better come with an in-house chef and a maid and some more stuff for that kind of money. No way would I pay that out there. No, I wouldn't pay that in Atlanta, let alone Dallas. In Atlanta, you could get a nice high rise for like $2,000, $2,500. You got kids, but okay, if you got kids, if you got a family, why are you in the condo anyway? Why you got a G-Wagon and a condo if you got a family? You should have a single family home out there in Mesquite or, somewhere, Rockwall, somewhere like that. Not a condo downtown. That's just silly. Anyway, now I'm going to show you what some people are doing. Okay, this is funny. I'm going to show you this and I'm going to get to the calls.
Apparently,
some people are getting a tattoo to spite Trump. Now, that's a certain level of TDS that's beyond my scope of imagination, because you're going to get a tattoo because you hate somebody. That's crazy. If I get a tattoo, which I don't have any tattoos, but if I was to get my very first tattoo ever, it'd be something that means something important to me, something that I would cherish, something that is really has deep meaning and importance in my life, a thing that I enjoy, something that's really, it'd be special to me. It wouldn't be, look at what I did. But some people do that in their real life. Let's watch.
Apparently, white liberal women, there's a new tattoo that they are getting to show how much they hate Donald Trump. And unfortunately, your moniker is a part of this tattoo. Oh. So they're taking 3 different flowers, the foxglove, the daisy, and the tulip. Oh. And they're getting tattoos, and that is a gotcha to Trump supporters and to Trump himself, because if you take the acronym of foxglove, daisy, and tulip, it's FDT. And so this is what they're doing, and they think it's super clever. So someone posted, I got my, FDT tattoo today.
People
tell me that it looks good. Here's another example. It's on a t-shirt. I wore my t-shirt the other day. Love it. This is their idea of getting us. Got us.
Get a life.
Don't you feel so got?
I just feel so got. Okay. I hope that the people selling those t-shirts are conservatives and just making money off these stupid women.
Support our show.
So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the conservative chicks. I think that's theirs. Yeah. Nah, chicks on the right. Shout out to chicks on the right. That was hilarious. Now look, I don't care how much I dislike somebody. I'm not going to get a tattoo on my body to say, hey, look at what I did. I got you. Because really, at a certain point, that's called being crazy. That's a little bit obsessive. Okay, that's like something you see in the movie. Single white female stalking somebody. That's somebody that'll call your phone 500 times in a row from a blocked number. That's what that is. That's called obsession. That's called mental illness. So yeah, shout out to whoever. To the t-shirt vendor. I hope you are a conservative guy. I hope so much you're conservative. Go get your money. As a matter of fact, I might sell some of them shirts on my website. If you want to be silly, if you want to be crazy, give me the money. I'm a profit off of your ridiculousness. And I'm going to say it, so I'm not even trying to hide it. I'll say it right now. Yeah, go to ablmerch.com and buy you a FDT, a Fox, with the flower. Trump derangement syndrome is real. If you know somebody who is affected, please tell them to seek help. Tell them, hey, don't go to the actual tattoo parlor with them. Tell them to seek help, okay? But there we go. Shout out to them for that. Do I have any more that I wanted to show? I got one more. Then we're going to get to the calls. And the number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. But what is the strangest thing about conservatives? The weirdest thing about conservatives? Check it out.
What is the weirdest thing about conservatives?
That they don't believe in facts.
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Yeah.
Whoever identifies as one, I guess.
But that's not what facts say. What is the weirdest thing about conservatives?
That they don't believe in facts.
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Yeah.
Whoever identifies as one, I guess.
But that's not what facts say. What is...
There we go. So that, at the end, that look right there, priceless. Priceless. But you know, at a certain point, it becomes a pattern. This is what they do. When you see them out there with all this kind of stuff on, it's just like, hey, I don't know what you got going on, but it's not really rooted in reality. Unfortunately, these humans, they vote. They really do vote, unfortunately. So we got to deal with them. Okay? But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video. Share the video. Do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. We got calls on deck. Oh, hold on. I have one more. I do have one more. I got to show this one. Please, give me a little bit of time.
I don't know.
Okay. Matter of fact, no, this is good. Actually, he was all right. Oh, no. I got one more. One more. So, this person says having a grass lawn is racist. Having a grass lawn is white supremacy. Let's watch.
I can't stop thinking about how grass lawns are racist and like based in white supremacy. If that doesn't make sense, that's okay, I guess. It seems really obvious to me. It's really upsetting. Bring back weeds. Bring back clover yards. Look, can anything just be okay in its natural state, or do we just have to whitewash everything, make it a competition, and use it as a sign of your worth as a human being in society? Like, can we just have weeds? I can't stop.
Okay, so if you don't have weeds and crabgrass and whatnot in your yard, you are a white supremacist. That's what that is, right? Okay, now check it out. I must be Adolf Hitler. I must be anybody you could think of, any kind of ultimate white supremacist. I am the ultimate. I am the superhero, super shredder of white supremacists. Let me show you something right quick. Let me show you my lawn, okay? Let me show you my grass that I worked very hard on, okay? And shout out to all the lawn care guys I talked to. Shout out to all my landscape guys. Shout out to everybody that has given me all kind of tips and tricks. This is my real lawn, okay? Hold on. This is my lawn. Now, as you can see, I am a white supremacist based on how my lawn is, okay? We have no weeds. We got tall fescue cut at 4 inches, okay? We got it edged properly with an actual edging machine, okay? We got everything. We got the cutouts for the drain valve. We got the sewer line. We got the tree. It'd be nice and blooming coming up in this springtime into the summer. and that right there to be nice and bloom. I planted all these shrubs right here as well. I did everything by hand, all by hand. Planted the shrubs, put down the weed barrier up under the shrubs, the mulch, the bricks, everything. I did everything. The grass I did by hand. Look at that close up of the grass. Weeds where? Crabgrass where? Dandelions where? I dug it up by hand using the rake. I put down it's tall fescue seed. First, I did 5 cubic yards of topsoil. Then I did a 50-pound bag of tall fescue seed, fresh seed from the contractor store. Then I put down some mushroom compost with a roller and fertilizer, and I watered it all throughout the winter. And then now I have a beautiful, lush lawn. Everybody come up to me, your yard is so green, I love it. People had their shoes off, their socks off, stepping in my grass. It's like stepping on the carpet. It's beautiful. So yes, hey, to the young lady, I am a white supremacist because my lawn, I don't do no weeds. Crabgrass, dandelions, I'm not doing none of that. So, hey, guilty as charged. I'm so sorry for doing that, but it is what it is. I got to have my grass looking right. We got HOAs, and we don't play that around these parts. So, yeah, hey, I would love to do landscaping. I'm good at it. I'm very good at what I do. I'd love to do it. If I had time, I would do it. In my neighborhood, I might do it. I'm seeing some people they got side. I don't do no side. I had side when I first came here, pardon me, and I took the side up because the side had failed. My yard looked bad at one point. The side failed. I'm like, I got to do this right. So I got topsoil, seed, fertilizer, compost, water. Beautiful. And the tree is going to be the tree that's not bloom. That's going to be a brandywine maple. Brandywine maple right here. This tree right here. Brandywine maple. That's just a tall shrub right there. But that'll be a brandywine maple. And these are firebush arborvitaes. And I got Japanese, what are these? Japanese something in the back. These shrubs in the back. They're kind of small right now as I just planted them, but they're going to be real big. They got bigger since I took this picture like probably about a month ago. They're probably like up to here right now. And these will kind of grow a little bit. And they're red right here because they were red in the winter. But in the spring, summer, they turn green. So, yeah. And thank y'all for the compliments. I appreciate that. I take a lot of pride in my lawn. I am not a white supremacist. I'm just a guy that likes to have a nice manicured lawn for an attractive front of my house. All righty. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to some super chats. Then we're going to get to some calls. And a number to call, again, 706-406-3287. I do have a green thumb. Thank you, Janine. Thank you for that. I do have a green thumb. And I got some more plants in my front, in that little area where I got my front door. I got 2 ferns, and I got a small tree right there, and those are doing pretty good right now as well. All right, let's keep going. Super chats. Thank you to Kristen Evans, who says, "Please keep all service members in prayer. My 18-year-old cousin just got deployed on March 31st on the USS George W. Bush. His name is Jordan Walker." Shout out to Jordan if you're watching, bro. Hey, we're praying for you. Get home safe, get home soon, and have a good deployment, man. And thank you for your service for joining us over our country. Thank you for that, bro. Shout out to the Whites man who says, "Love the show." Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to Lindsay who says, "I truly wonder if we've been using our TR3Bs. I'm not sure what that is, but shout out to you. Thank you to Eileen who says, "The U.S. cleared the way for the people of Iran to rise up, and they did nothing. They're nothing but cowards." I ain't gonna say all that now. Come on, that's unfair because they did do something, and many of them were killed as a result. At least 40,000 of them. So I'm not gonna agree with you on that. But thank you for your super chat. Thank you to Twisted Clown who says bit backs will have ABL tattoo saying bit back on their bit back. Thank you for that, man. I definitely appreciate you for that. Let's keep on rocking. Let's get to some the calls. The number to call, 706-406-3287. And the phone lines are open. So go ahead and call on in. And that lawn, I don't play, because my lawn, I was trying to be modest. I was trying to be modest with my lawn. I ain't want to do all that. Have it be so nice. But then I got a letter from the HOA. Your yard has weeds. Okay, watch this. Voila. 818, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. First off, I'd like to say I love the show, man. And beautiful lawn. Very, very beautiful lawn.
Thank you.
You know, what's really, yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, I never realized how hard it is to take care of a lawn, because I'm originally from LA, and I'm used to all the concrete. I never lived in a house my entire life, right? And when I moved out to Texas, I was finally able to buy a house, and then I got a lawn. And I got to tell you, I'm probably the worst white supremacist ever, because I killed my lawn in the first year, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I did my best to go ahead and keep up, because I see all my neighbors like, oh, well, their lawns are nice. And my wife didn't know what to do either, because she's from a very large city herself. Everything's concrete. And, it's one of those things where, whenever I see a lawn like that, I'm very impressed. But yeah, I mean, keeping a lawn like that, that's hard work, man. And I gotta say that's great work. That being said there too, you're talking about, earlier with Turkey and the birth tourism, in LA, that was also a very big deal. Started 20 plus years ago with the Chinese. I mean, they're really bad out there with that. But yeah, no, that's all I really wanted to say. Like I said, that lawn, dude, man, I wish I could I'm still learning, by the way, how to take care of a lawn. And I'm over 40 years old. It's really funny. Like, first time I mowed a lawn, I'm like almost 40. And it is surreal. Like, my wife thought it would be a fun job. No, it was not fun. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, man. Great job. Love your show. I hope you have a good night.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to the next one here. All right, a little bit slow on that one. But yeah, man, that lawn, it takes work. You got to read and ask people and just figure out things, trial and error. It takes time. 351 your line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not too much. What's happening?
So I got a question. Why President Trump left the Iranian agreement, the GOCPA?
I don't know.
You don't know. And can you tell me what the Iranian agreement, if they reached its goal, it was reaching its goal?
Say that one more time.
If the Iranian agreement reached its goal when it was implemented in 2015, did it reach its goal or not?
I don't know.
So two things that you don't know. Okay. So what President Trump got out of all this mess? Spend billions of dollars, chaos. What did we get?
Just get to the don't like. No. Just get to what you want to say. Don't interview me. Get to what you want to say.
Commentator, right?
Just though. Okay, this is my show. I'm gonna do what I want. So I'm telling you to just get to your point rather than trying to interview me.
My point that this president, unfortunately, is an idiot. That's the point. We have a mutual agreement, not only with the United States and Iran, but there were 6 other nations. Actually, there were nations that were not too friendly to us. It was Russia and it was China. So that means if Iran would have break the agreement, and it's trying to do something with Russia, it's a backdoor deal with China through the banking system, sending oil or sending material, sending gas, we would have stopped them because they would have signed an agreement that said we had to sanction them too. So the agreement was working according to the International Atomic Energy Agency staffers. the inspectors that were going in. So it was working. The enriched uranium level was less than 2% that they were saying for capacity for electricity. So we blew up all that stuff that President Obama took 2 years to put together, right? All that was blown out away for the 2 years that they put together. And this guy destroyed it in a couple of weeks because his ego. And we didn't get nothing in exchange for it. So what do you think about that?
That's your opinion, and that's fine.
No, it's not my opinion.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Because
that's not my opinion.
Excuse me. That's your opinion. That is just for electricity, just for power. That's fine. That's your opinion. But others disagree with you. Others say that they were trying to enrich uranium for a nuclear weapon. So you think something else, and it's okay. That's your opinion.
No, that's not my opinion. You could look at the
So when others say that they were trying to get a weapon, are they lying, or are you telling the truth?
Well, let me explain to you. When he withdrew from the agreement and put sanctions on Iran, and Iran was obeying the deal, that means like, what are you doing? It's like I make an agreement with you, and then you break the agreement. Then the other countries, China, Russia, like what this guy is doing, and Germany and England and this country, like, yo, what this guy is doing. Then they say the agreement's still on. When President Trump imposed the sanctions, they decided to continue enriching uranium. But it was an agreement in place.
So they were enriching the uranium. Okay.
Yeah, they started enriching because he left the agreement. That's my point.
That's your opinion that they were doing it.
That's
because
not
of that.
my opinion.
You don't like. You have no way of knowing what you're saying is true or false.
You know, I have no way of knowing. They post these reports online, and actually the experts that read these reports online.
So you
can
believe
go
it.
on YouTube and look it up.
You're choosing to believe whatever they show you, and that's okay.
It's not my dude. So you don't believe the International Atomic Energy Agency. You don't believe
you're
don't believe those reports?
You're choosing to believe.
No, I'm asking.
No. I'm answering the question the way I want to answer it. You're choosing to believe whatever they show you, and that's okay for you to have that opinion. Again, it's an opinion because you're choosing to believe whatever they show you. But we have a thing called intelligence that knows more than you or I know, and they say something different.
So who says something different?
We have intelligence in this country that says something different.
The intelligence, okay, so what the guy that he fired said, the National Security Intelligence, what Tulsi Gabbard said? Tulsi Gabbard said there was no intention of Iran incurring a nuclear weapon. That's what she said.
Okay, so that's one person. So that's one person, but there's not going to be a consensus on that. That's the point. You're looking at what one person says and making that be what must be true. But you're ignoring what others are saying as if it's false. But the truth is, you don't know what's true or false.
Where is the reports?
But you got to just shut your fat mouth for a second and listen so you can hear what I'm saying. You don't know if what is being said is true or false. Again, it's just your opinion, and it's okay. It's okay to have an opinion.
It's not my opinion.
It's okay to have an opinion because, okay, now how about others who have a different viewpoint than you who are in the government, actual intelligence? What do you say about them?
Okay, I'm going to explain you.
And say it quickly. We don't got no time for you giving no big, long, crazy, drawn out answer. Just say it quickly. Answer the question. So those who think something different than you in the government, what do you say of them? Quickly, 10 seconds.
I'm gonna tell
10
you
seconds.
I'm gonna give you an answer. If you allow me, please.
10 seconds. Come on.
Help you out. The agreement was when the agreement. Iran.
Look. I told you, don't give me no long answer. 10 seconds. What do you think of them who say something different than what you believe?
I believe it was different. Iran was reaching uranium, but we don't know until what point to develop a nuclear weapon. It was true there was a reaching uranium because this knucklehead decided to leave the deal because it was Obama who signed it.
So
remember,
at the end of the day,
this is the guy that told us he was going to give us a better deal. I was giving you a better deal.
You don't know what was happening. You're choosing to align yourself with whoever has your same viewpoint, but those who have a different viewpoint, you just want to say that they're wrong. That's just, again, your opinion. You're choosing who to side with. You're choosing who to agree with. And that's pretty much that on that. So what you got to say about that?
I'm not choosing with anything. I'm choosing what the reports from the agencies, international agencies are saying.
All right. But look, you're kind of repeating yourself now, so you can move on to something else or I can hang up to the next call.
I just explained. So we didn't get anything out of all these billions that we spent.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. That's fine.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact.
Anything else you want to say?
It's a fact. It's a fact. I know. I wanna tell you. You said that Pam Bondi. I guess you make a comment that women cannot lead because Pam Bondi and Christy Noy is an idiot. That's another idiot.
Make your point.
We
quickly.
have a lot of idiots in this administration. Started with the president.
Make your point quickly.
Unfortunately, my point is Pam Bondi is smart. She knew what she was doing. The problem is President Trump was requiring her to do things that she couldn't do. She wanted to arrest James Comey. Dude, you can't just go and arrest somebody in this country like that. Leticia James, she wanted to arrest him. The guy that, I can't remember his name, but the guy that charged him with a crime in New York, he wanted those guys to be arrested. So when they went to court, the judge dropped the cases, and then Trump saying that she's not effective.
Okay, so the question is, do you think that's the only reason why she got fired, just because of that, and there was nothing else?
And that, and
my question is very quick. My question is so simple. Do you think the only reason she got fired is because of the James? Reason. Excuse me. Matter of fact, never mind. Have a good night. Okay, let's go to the next call here. Let's go. Allow us to get to 917.
Hi, ABL. It's Corinne from NYC.
All righty. What's happening?
Hey, yeah, I had to call in because I caught your show a little late. But as soon as I got into the show, I heard you talking about there was a video of some conservative women podcasters making fun of liberals, I guess, that were getting tattoos of flowers that somehow represent like an FU to Trump.
Yes.
So I think that's ridiculous. That's the first time I'm ever hearing of this because I have a life. So I don't know if these people that get these tattoos think I would know what that is if I saw the tattoo on them at the supermarket. I mean, I don't remember what flowers they were, but I think it's like for them to actually think that you would know what that means. All I was thinking when I was watching that video was these people have no life.
Yes.
The people that get those tattoos. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe it would be fair if when I remember everybody kept saying, let's go Brandon. If there's anyone that has a tattoo that says, let's go Brandon, I've never seen that.
I have not seen that, but you know, that'll kind of be in the same ballpark.
That would. But yeah, I just think it's really pathetic. Like they're right. Those women are right to make fun of it. It's like, you're obsessed with this man. People are obsessed with hating on Donald Trump. It's a sickness.
It is, really.
And I was thinking about, I live in Brooklyn and I live near Barclays Center. So I could walk over to Park Slope. That's like an affluent area. And in Park Slope near the little brownstones, people have these signs all over the place, all over the damn place that say no kings, no kings. And they're really well-designed signs. Like they printed them up. It's not like they just drew something. They spent money to print up these nice little original signs. There are some that they look similar, like they have a certain logo and they all look the same. But then some people make their own and they do a special printing of it. And they have all these funny little pictures of Donald Trump. They take their time to make these little signs like, he's not a king, he's not a real man, like all these stupid things on it. And they put it in front of their front window, the large window in the brownstone for you to see. And I'm every time I see them signs, I'm like, if this was a real, like, if you were really living under hard times of oppression like that, you wouldn't have time to make these fancy little signs. You would be going through extreme hardship under that oppression. You wouldn't have time to make these witty little funny signs. Like it's just so stupid. They have nothing going on.
They don't, and that's kind of like their life. They enjoy doing that. It's like a hobby. People they really.
It's a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you under real serious oppression, you would have no time to do things like that in such a funny, silly way, So anyway, also I wanted to comment on the girl you showed a video of her saying that people should just not have manicured lawns or something. She was trying to say that that's racist.
Yeah, it's racist to have green lawns.
And I did want to say that's very impressive. If that is your lawn, that's a wonderful job. That
Thank
looks
you.
like a professional job right there. You could probably do a little side hustle. But I mean, is this girl trying to put landscaping people out of business with this, or like people that try to help people with their lawns? You trying to put them out of business?
I suppose so, because it is an industry. People do. It's a real thing. But I guess that's working is a bad thing to some people.
Right. It's like, hey, now, if I was a landscaper, if I had somebody in my family in that business, that was our family business, I'd be like, hey, what you trying to do? But the thing is, people like her, when they say things like that, it's such a little casual, she's trying to be funny, like, oh, let's just, be mediocre and let's not strive for excellence. What by trying to say that is racist, she's being racist. Her mind is equating non-white people with mediocrity and the opposite of striving for excellence.
Exactly.
So she's being racist. You're assuming that is something only white people should do. Strive for excellence. Everybody likes a lovely looking lawn. That is not a white people thing. People really appreciate that.
They do. I mean, people always like whenever I'm outside, I get compliments. People love it. People
course.
take pictures. The landscape guys ask me stuff. So people they enjoy it. It's nice to have nice looking things. Why can't we have nice things?
Well, she's saying in her mind, white people can, and that's why it's racist. She really seems to believe that that's what I can't stand about these people that are racist themselves. She is racist by trying to say that that's a white people thing, trying to have pretty things. Let's just do weeds. No, don't nobody want to see weeds. Nobody wants to. People might accept it because maybe they don't want to put in the work, but nobody really wants that.
Exactly.
So no, that is not a white people thing, and I just don't like that. What she's doing deep down, people like her are trying to tell non-white people that's your lane. Like, don't try to be, when you're trying to strive for excellence or make things quote unquote perfect, or just strive for, nothing's perfect, but just make it look nice, or try to put some effort in. Don't just leave it be. Try to put some effort in. Make things nice. That's you trying to be white. No, it is not. That's a human thing to try to. People want to put effort in, and they want things to be nice. You try to bypass the laziness and everything. You put effort in. People appreciate that. That is a human thing.
That's right. 100% correct.
So so don't try to. It's like, I mean, of course, it's silly. Like, you just reject people like her. And this silly, like, trying to equate excellence with, like, being on time. I've heard people make fun of that. Oh, people shouldn't make such a big deal about being on time. Everybody's not white. Like, what? Excuse me? No, don't make this about excellence being about white people. So, yeah, of course, people just should reject that. But I just think they need to call it out more that is racist. You trying to equate mediocre behavior or not striving for excellence as a non-white people thing. So they just need to be called out that you're being the racist.
Exactly.
All right, that was about it. That's the only videos I saw before you went to the calls. So I hope you're getting some good calls. I don't know if Ivan called in, but it's always kind of annoying when when he calls in but you know what? I do appreciate that he does listen to your show. So maybe someday he'll get some wisdom in.
Hopefully one day he'll get his mind right. That's the goal.
I mean, he's obsessed with your show, so that's a good thing. Okay, you have a good night, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, great call. Let's go to 828. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, ABL? This is Lindsay from Candler. How you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. I'm so glad I caught you, man. So I gave you a shout out earlier tonight on your show when I mentioned the TR3B, and I thought I ought to fill you in because it's totally interesting. I think you'd be really into it. So the TR3B is an anti-gravity spacecraft made by our own military. Now, I wouldn't know anything about it, But after doing some research many years ago, I found that it uses highly pressured mercury accelerated by nuclear energy to produce a plasma that creates a field of anti-gravity around the ship. Now, the only reason why I'm even remotely interested in this is not just because I'm interested in all the UFO stuff my whole life, but one night I lived in Pittsburgh near Highway 64, North Carolina, back in 2016, around 11 o'clock at night, I think in September, early fall that year. I was sitting on my computer and something caught my eye, and I get up and I walk outside, and it looks like this super high beam light, but from about 3 miles away. And the only reason why I know the distance is because I knew where the top of that tree line was in reference to my house. It was at the end of the road, 3 miles at the end of the road. So I watch this thing, and I go and I call my roommate, and I'm like, whoa, look at this. I think it's a UFO. We're kind of laughing, and then suddenly I just stop, and we're watching this thing slowly come towards the house. Lo and behold, it was something that I could only say looked like straight out of a movie. Never in my life did I ever think I'd actually see anything like this. And so maybe it was there in front of me, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, it felt like forever. It had a very low vibrational tone, almost like a very soft hum. And the weirdest part was that blue light shot up from the bottom, then they stopped, and then it slowly progressed towards my direction. This thing nearly stops, right? Like across the fence at the end of my driveway from me. It was really hard to tell because I've never seen anything like it in my life. But this thing could have been just maybe only 100 feet above me. Now at this point, all the lights were off. It was a black triangular craft and it slowly rotated. Then it started to almost sail silently. The vibrational tone stopped. And I just took off barefoot up the gravel driveway running after it like, this is amazing. And then boom, silently gone in the sky. I researched this thing for 2 weeks until I found out that it was a top secret technology that our own military has been, believe it or not, experimenting on. And actually, there's a secret base that I already heard through the grapevine in my neighborhood for years off of Highway 64 in Pittsburgh that's highly guarded. It's just gated off this little road, not far from my house. That's actually possibly the place where this thing came out of, right? So there's this deep hole or tunnel into the ground. And this is just what I heard. You can't actually go back there and see it. But it makes sense that that's where it could have been from because they were testing it. Now, the thing is, when I looked this up, this thing goes Mach 9. And my whole point to this is, look, if Trump says that they did, 13,000 hits in Iran in the course of 38 days, I don't think those are just, regular military crafts. I think they're using super stealth, high-tech equipment at night. I mean, when I think it was a few months ago when they flew in and they saved a guy for the first time, and it was in the middle of the night, and it just happened so quickly. I'm like, why? And I don't know if they disclosed what they used then. They might have, and might have been something else. But man, I would not be surprised. I just say, look up the TR-3B. It's an anti-gravity spacecraft. I've seen it myself. It is so wild. And I just think that we've got the best technology in the world. And go Trump and go USA.
Right on. I think we probably did do something like that because he even said it. He's like, we had discombobulator and all kind of new technology. So I think there are quite a few things we have not seen that were used out there on that battlefield for sure.
Oh, yeah, because I made that comment earlier today, and I think it was not a minute or two went by, live when we were playing what Trump was talking about, and they were like, yeah, top secret technology. I'm like, oh, that's it. I bet you they're using that. That is so cool.
Right on.
Anyway, thanks for listening to that bit. I hope you all have an awesome night.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate you.
Totally. Peace out.
Great call. Shout out to her. Fantastic call. Let's go to 951. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 951. Hello. All right, 951. When you call in, you got to make sure you have your ear to the phone because there's going to be a delay if you try to talk to the screen. Let's go to 501. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? All right, what's going on? Speak up a little bit. I can't. It's kind of hard to hear you. Speak up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. So I really didn't get a chance to watch the show doing homework for college. But one thing that I'm kind of glad about is the person that took over Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat in Congress. And I'm kind of glad she's gone because, she was acting kind of crazy before she decided to quit, and now she's acting even more crazy. You see that post where she posted on X talking about President Trump. They should do the 25th Amendment on him.
Yeah, she's weird, and the people here, they know it because I live down the street. I live basically in her district. I live I'm in Tennessee, but I'm on the border, and right across the border is her district. So I'm seeing people going out there being motivated. I'm seeing elderly people out there voting early. Like, they're really motivated to get somebody else in there. So the people know that she's not really wrapped too tight here in her district. They know it.
Yeah, because her thing was she's mad because Trump didn't support her for a run at Georgia's governor's seat. But it's like, come on now. They were looking at actual numbers and data that showed that she had a very, very, very slim chance of winning that race. It's like, why would you, waste, time and effort and resources trying to put a person in who has a very slim chance of getting in versus somebody else who has a better chance?
It makes no sense, and it would have been the same thing as Jasmine Crockett ultimately, because you see what happened with her. And so it just was it had been no purpose, no point. It would have been a waste of money and time.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that the midterms come out good, because looking at all the polling and everything, Democrats are not doing good. They're actually below water on everything. Like, their ratings is lower than even Trump's. And all they got to run on is Trump bad and all that other, crazy talk. So they don't have any platform to actually run on. All they do is, hate on Trump, and that's not gonna win them too many elections. Because in all honesty, one, he's not on the ballot for anything. Two, he's not running for president again. So they don't have anything. They don't have any good policies or anything. That's just like Madami, who's still begging to get all this free stuff that he asked for. Like, he's still trying to get these free buses, and he keeps talking about he's gonna make the rich people pay for it, and they're all leaving, coming to Texas and Florida and Tennessee and other places. I don't know what's going on with these people.
I can't call it. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I know it's late. I'm about to go to bed, and I don't know if you're about to go to bed, but you have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to 215 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going? Can you hear me clearly?
I hear you well.
Hey, of course, I know you probably heard about what happened between, what's his name, Offset, and, see, I'm already forgetting the other dude's name, but you already know, you heard about the situation already, right?
Yes.
My thing with Offset is, if you got that much of a gambling problem, you got to borrow from an OnlyFans model and a few other people and some random guys that you don't even know that's not your closest friends. Yo, I can't imagine myself having that much money, being a millionaire with that much of a gambling problem.
It's crazy, but gambling, it don't really matter how much money you got. It can all be taken from you. You could be a broke person. Either way, if you got a gambling problem, you're going to become a broke person. It don't matter if you got $100 million or $100.
Yeah, what's crazy? I've heard stories of people, and I've heard this for decades, of people how they had millions and they just went completely broke because they had so much of a gambling problem because they were so addicted to the rush and the high of like winning.
Oh yeah, that's what happens. It's a real thing. They're hooked on it. It's a real addiction. It's like being hooked on drugs or anything else.
Yeah. And the fact that something like that had to go down, and honestly, I think they said what Offset said to the other dude is, somebody made a good point. They said Offset intentionally started that beef just so he wouldn't have to pay the dude back.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But see, the problem is when you do stuff like that, it can backfire because he thinks guys not going to do anything and he could just be beefing and they're going to just take it. But not everyone plays like that, as he saw when he got shot in his arm parts.
Yeah. Them street guys, they said them street guys, as soon as they saw him in that casino, like the one rapper, he had some dudes with him. They from what I heard, they decided to go confront Offset. And now they saying one of his homeboys shot him in the rear end after the fight happened. So now Offset's getting out of the hospital, and he's last picture I saw, he's in a wheelchair wearing a hospital gown outside with smoking a cigarette.
And the thing about it is,
tells me go ahead.
And the thing about it is, he could have been dead.
Yeah, he could have ended up like what was it, Quavo that got shot?
Takeoff.
Oh, Takeoff. Yeah. I always get it confused sometimes.
It was the same situation. It was gambling. They were shooting dice, and somebody had some kind of problem, and next thing you know, he's dead.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm gonna say this last thing. I remember somebody made a good point, and we were talking about this. We both said, if I ever win the lottery, had millions, the last place I'm gonna go to is a casino, because it's like, what's the point? I already got millions. Why would I need to go to the casino?
Exactly. Like, I got the money. I don't need to try to like lose the money right away. Like, it makes no sense. If anything, I'm gonna go invest my money into a thing that I know will make money, like the stock market. I'm not gonna go throw it on black and lose it. It makes no sense.
Nope, absolutely not. Yeah, plus last time I gambled was 2021. I won some, lost some, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just back out, and I never went back. I didn't even get hooked.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Yeah, but thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a blessed night.
Same to you. All right, great call. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Okay, I'm up past my bedtime. Time for me to go ahead and roll up out of here. But you guys have been fantastic. Thank you for the great show. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Y'all still calling my phone? Okay. I'll take 2 more calls. Y'all still calling me? I thought I was gonna be done. Let's go. Unknown call. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
ABL.
What's happening?
Hey, man. Oh, a lot's happening. So when the ceasefire went into effect, what was that, today in Iran?
Today, yes.
Okay, so the stock market is surging. My stocks are going up a lot. Went up like $5,500, whatever, today. So when is this supposed to end?
It's going to be a 2-week ceasefire. So I'm not really sure when they're going to say the actual effective date was, because I think there was still some issues. There was still some fighting. So I'm not sure when the 2 weeks is going to end, but it did say 2 weeks.
Well, it's good that Trump's given. I don't know. I guess it's good that he's given a break from a financial perspective, to give our economy a break, because the gas prices are getting really high. But hey, remember when all the people in 2022, right after the invasion of Ukraine, people were saying, yeah, the gas prices are going up, but I don't mind paying more if it's hurting Putin. Well, you're idiot. That was Biden's lie. The gas prices had nothing to do with the invasion in Ukraine. But Putin, he duped a lot of people into thinking that was the case. It wasn't. No one complained. These Biden supporters never complained about 4 years of high gas prices under that jackass. Nobody complained about 8 years of no leftists I'm talking about complained about the gas price for 8 years under Obama, but they go up for 39 days under Trump. Because of the war in Iran, because the Strait of Hormuz is closed off, because of the Iranians, and they raise hell and they lose their minds. So it's just temporary. This war is going to be over in like 2, 3, 4 weeks at the most.
Right, but anything that Trump does It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. They're going to be against it. Trump can save a puppy from a tree, and they're going to be upset.
That's my point, exactly. And that idiot that you showed on your video last week, the one that was wearing the lipstick, because he said he found out in the Third Reich that's what German ladies did to resist the Nazis.
Yeah,
I didn't believe that. I've read about the Nazis of the Third Reich, World War II since 1981. I didn't even know about that one. I'm very well informed about that time period. I looked it up, and it's actually true. But guess what? Hitler's girlfriend, Eva Braun, wore lipstick, and so did a lot of other Nazi leaders' wives. So, look how effective that resistance went. You know, when after World War II was over, they lost like 55 million people in Europe, you know, because of the Nazi regime, and including 6 million Jews. And Hitler shot himself in the bunker on April 30th, 1945. So, keep wearing lipstick, dumbass. That's really going to affect Trump and get him out of office, you moron. It just makes him look gay, you know, which he probably was anyway.
Right.
No, and the vast majority of people don't know that German women did that in World War II to resist the Nazis. The left is so into this, what Rush Limbaugh called symbolism, substance over symbolism. They like doing these meaningless things that they think is going to affect the right and hurt America, and it really doesn't. It all comes to naught because they're just a bunch of stupid morons. But as far as this war effort goes, I don't like people bailing on it, you know, complaining about the war effort. You know, I'm all for it. I'm 110% behind fighting Iran. I'm talking about the Iranian regime and Trump. I say we fight to the last man, the last bullet. Even if it goes on for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, let's do it. We need to take care of this problem after 47 years. I'm sick of it. And Iran's not going to bully America. You know, I'm tired of these people. And this is very personal for me because I remember in 1979, I was 9 years old in early 1979 when they took over Iran. In November 1979, I was 10. You know, when they held the hostages for 444 days. So, you know, screw these people. You know, we got to take them out with cold ruthlessness. So I don't know. I hope we bomb them into oblivion if it comes to it, though. You know, and furthermore, bombing bridges and and the other infrastructure in Iran is not a war crime. The Americans did it all the time. And not only that, we did it in Holland in World War II, in France, and all the other countries where we were fighting the Germans. The Germans did it, the Americans did it, the British did it. All countries bombed the infrastructure of the countries, you know, that were occupied by the Germans during World War II. Jake Tapper is such a damn liar. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Thanks for taking my call. I want to say I'm still Ultra MAGA, America First, and make America great again. And thanks a lot. Keep up the great work, man.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Great call. Unknown caller online. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah. Hey, that just that plane that lady was talking about a few callers ago, that actually was already used by Germans in World War II. The type of technology that had the English writing in their papers that the Germans passed to them, and that these sort of orbs, they call it, or lights, and they nicknamed them Foo Fighters, would disappear and turn at very odd angles that their British fighter planes could not keep up with. And let me see, with regards to Hitler, he lived in Argentina. He did not kill himself. But if some of you want to think that that's okay with us, his bones were tested, and turns out it wasn't. I think it was a male skull. It was female anatomy that was discovered. Him and his wife lived in Argentina, as a lot of them blended throughout South America. So just want to let you know that what she was talking about, I think it had to do with mercury. They used like elements of mercury and stuff. I can't recall the details all these years later, but you know, I really admire their technology. They were very, very advanced and way ahead of their time by 70 odd years. And the technology was stolen. I love America, my favorite country in the whole wide world. I'm just telling you the truth, okay? It was stolen by the victors, like America and Russia went in there and stole a lot of technology as well. And Hitler could have won the war but he was getting very sentimental. This is what they don't teach you in history. Sentimental, and he kind of like stopped production of certain things for, I think it was 4 or 5 months, and somehow that allowed other people to catch up. I have more to say, but I can't recall the details. I like to be a details man, and I like to give substance. But yeah, that technology has been out a long time, from the days of like the 30s and such. Hitler also created, I think one of the first submarines, maybe it was called U-boat, that could be underwater for days. It's a lot of stuff that you see and you're marveling over now. Your B-40s, your stealth, that was from the days of Hitler, from those guys. That's his party. And that octagon-shaped, looks like pillars, I don't know what's officially called, in Germany, that's actually a landing pod for the saucers when they came out of the hangars, in case you don't know. I'm not playing anything, I'm not expressing anything like telling where secret bases are or anything. That would be very Karen-esque of me. And it's very nice to be enthused about these things, but I wouldn't want enemies to now start spying on any technology that is being created in America, from places like China, Turkey, or any of those places that are ungrateful backstabbers. And yeah, it's not make-believe. These flying saucers were a real thing. But you got to keep your cards close to your chest and not let secrets out if you want to have an edge. So I really admire them, and I have to give credit where credit's due. That's all. Good night. Love your show. Thanks, ABL. And God bless America, land of the free and home of the brave.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I think that's going to be a wrap for me. Let me just make sure I'm good. I got everybody I wanted to get. Okay, I think I am. We're good to go now. We got everybody that wanted to get in. Okay, the phone lines are closed. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me. Blame the white man. It's not my fault. I'll be back live on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now. Not quite as late. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. This is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right, did I get everybody in the super chat? Shout out to NJ Prepper, who says, NJ Prepper in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to you, NJ Prepper. Shout out to you, everybody that's been watching. Thank you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting. Without you, I know I couldn't do any of this. And shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. Thank you for the great show tonight. Really enjoyed y'all. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.